two. Take two, people. Come on, welcome to the Top 4 podcast. My name is Peter. I'm an Arsenalist. Yes, people. We were already doing the podcast, and I realized that we hadn't gone live. So if you're thinking we're late, we were actually here. You know what I mean? But
chatting to ourselves.
Yeah, we were chatting. I said my spiel. I said everything.
we literally did a group chat. We're literally in the group chat. Anyway, let's try that again, shall we? My name is Peter. I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm joined by Oscar, a Chelsea fan.
We know what we are. We know what we are. Champions of Europe. We know what we are. Come on, lads. This wretched season is finally over. I'm very, very happy. How you lot doing?
Yeah. Joined by Robinho, a Manchester United fan.
I'm not repeating what I said because it was hella long. But all I'm saying is that, European football, man, it's a joy. It's an absolute joy. That is all I can say.
European football is a joy. Shout out to Ernie, a Manchester United fan.
Shout out to Luis Enrique because he said football is not a prison. So when I see ballers ball, that's what I want to see.
Is that what he said?
Not in that game, but he said it before. Football's not a prison. Something else. I'll find the real quote.
That's a great quote.
Yeah.
Luis Enrique. And we're joined by AD, the champ, a Liverpool fan.
Listen, I'm not here to sing. I'm not here to dance. I'm not here to have a jolly up. When you watch, when you watch with your pair of eyes a team get annihilated in the way that they did in the Champions League final, it's crisis talks, people. Like, this is very, very somber. And we need to sit down and dissect what the hell happened on Saturday. For you to have your butts handed to you in such a manner, I'm appalled. I barely slept on Saturday. Just because of that game. Just because of that game, I barely even slept.
Just discussing, reflecting. Yeah.
5.
Yeah. In the biggest final.
No.
Biggest. The whole of Europe is watching.
Yeah.
You waited your whole life for that moment, and you let it slip. Like literally, as you're a boy, you dream about it. Scoring the winner.
Hey, Adrian, do we get a chance to talk about Syria?
Go for it.
I think I'll leave that for later. That's like dessert.
Yeah, it's coming. That's coming.
Because we've got 2 Syria representatives, lawyers, Peter Spector and Robin Ross. That's who we got.
So man denying their boys.
Guys, it's a bumper episode today, so we want to make sure we get everything done and dusted in time for the action. Oscar, let's get into the comment section straight away.
Let's go.
Also, before you kick off, what Chelsea kit is that?
Oh, this is a training kit. It's kind of set, isn't it?
I mean,
Trivago thing from a couple years back. But yeah,
Hotel Trivago. Get into the comment section. Let's do this.
Baraka says, big up to the best podcast to air on a Monday afternoon when Inter did a 2025 Kansas City Chiefs and dropped an all-time stinker on the grand stage. Hashtag, yeah, hate to see it. I can't lie, man. I did enjoy seeing it. I know people hate it, but boy. David says, big up Top 4 podcast. Hope everyone's blessed and enjoyed the weekend. I am blessed and I did enjoy the weekend and I hope you are too, bro. Nat says, raise your hands if your club won a European trophy this season.
Congrats.
Anyone going to join me? Anyone going to join
Let's
me?
move on.
Oh, nobody. Really? Oh, okay.
Big you up, though. European Cup. Big you up.
S76 says, them boos. Indeed. Nat says, question of the day. What's the best debut album of all time in rap? For him, it's between Illmatic by Nas or Get Rich and Die Trying by 50 Cent. For me, on a personal level, one of my favorite albums of all time, but redacted. I don't know if we're still allowed to say this person's name, but The College Dropout.
I was about to say it's mine. It's mine as well.
College Dropout is probably in my top 10 albums. So
for me, it's Illmatic.
Is it? Okay.
It's not the biggest, but to me, it's the best artist. Like, if you're talking about rap as an art, Illmatic is the best debut album of all time.
Yeah, I would probably say. I'd probably say Get Rich or Die Trying for this. I just remember what it was like when it come out and how much replay it had. And then a personal is Ludacris's one, Back for the First Time. Like that's Ludacris, my favorite artist. So Back for the First Time was a cold album. But yeah, there's so many to choose from.
Hey, Ludacris being your favorite is so funny.
I did not expect that from you.
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, like as in,
that comment as well. Yeah, we got.
I read it. I took it down. Sorry, lads. Sorry. What are you playing at?
That's going mad.
Baraka says, man, them talking to themselves for 3 minutes, not knowing they ain't live. That's crazy.
It's a bit like Inter, to be honest. We'll get there.
And then that says, Memory Lane by Nas is better than any Jay-Z song, by the way. All right, man. All right.
I'm more of a Jay-Z fan than Nas, I must admit. And that was unpopular back in the day.
Pete, what did we say in the barbershop the other day? Capitalization, capitulation, cappuccino, Captain America, Captain Britain, capsule.
Well, this track here, yeah? This
You're saying it's all cap.
Man now talking like Jay-Z has 2 albums, you know.
He's
got like 12.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
Baraka says he hates to see Kanye go down the route he went, but College Dropout is an all-time classic. Pete,
I'll tell you what I didn't clock the other day. I didn't clock that. You know, we were talking about Kanye the other day, and we were like, this guy's just gone. I didn't clock it in an interview with DJ Academics with the KKK suit on.
He's not well.
The thing is, I could say a bunch of random scenarios.
He's not well.
Kanye West did this, and 5 of them would be true.
Honestly, I was gobsmacked. I was like, hang on a minute, what the hell's going on here? But anyway,
he has a bust down swastika chain.
Yeah, I mean that's
like bust down.
That's a lot. He's not well. People are telling me. I mean, people saying that he's fine. He's not.
But I prefer to not speak on him.
Anyway, yeah, this is a football podcast, so we should get down to the nitty gritty of the footy. What do you reckon, boy?
Talk about the biggest game.
Shall we?
European football.
Shall we do it? The Champions League final took place on Saturday, where one team turned up for the event. Paris Saint-Germain 5, Internazionale 0. In what was I could only call a mauling, a butchering, an absolute. It was an absolute battering. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was watching. I'll be honest with you guys. And as an Interisti, you know what I mean? I sat there in disbelief. I just said that my team's just not arrived. We're just not here. What's going on? I mean, Robinho, talk to me, blood. I mean, like, what the heck happened in that game?
Oh, I can talk to you exactly. For me, I was gobsmacked as well. For those that don't know, I got a last-minute opportunity to be part of what I like to call a certain demographic in Paris. And as part of said demographic, I got to watch it with Les Parisiens. Bear in mind, I did have an Intertop with me, so it was even more crazy. Yeah, I didn't wear it. I didn't wear it, but
with me, I'm like, wait a minute, you had it.
I took it with me. I took it with me because I was ready. But what I watched,
you never watched. You were never going to wear that. I don't know why you took it. You were never going to wear that shirt. There was a
impossible.
What I watched. Oh, I've lost everyone. Everyone, all right? What's going on?
I can still hear and see you.
We can hear
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not risking my life, Pete. You're right, but I had it with me. It was once I got back to the hotel. Like, yeah, I'm not risking my life. However, no, what I witnessed was the most dominant final I think I've ever seen. Like, I've seen deserved winners, but this was something else.
Yeah,
Paris Saint-Germain battered these men from minute 1 to minute 90 so bad that there was no extra time. The ref said, "Nah, you're done here. Let's just wrap this up."
Respect for Italia again.
Yeah,
good officiating, man.
That's a good officiating.
Let them die, man. They're dead.
I don't know what to say about Inter. I can say lots of things about PSG.
I think we should let's talk PSG because they won it, yeah, and deservedly so. Let's wax lyrical on PSG 5 minutes, and then we can talk 5 minutes on Inter. Who's got anything that they want to liquefy in this game?
Yeah, man. I said in the group chat before the game, if PSG win, then it is a win for football. It is a moral victory.
It's a scandalous comment. That's a scandalous comment. We'll get to that later, though. That's a scandalous.
No, because I know exactly what
scandalous comment.
You're gonna go, oh, the money and the Saudi and they pump. I wasn't talking about all of that. I was simply talking about on the pitch. Yeah, 11 against 11. What do I want to see from a football game? What do I want to see from football? And at the end of the day,
Oscar, they know exactly what you're talking about. They might just want to be political when it suits them. Yeah, that's all it is. When we talk about real jugging, that's some of the best football I've seen in a long time.
Facts. And I was furious from the semi because I really wanted to see Barca versus PSG. We didn't get that. And I said, there's no way we're going to get flipping, what's my man's name? Denzel Dumfries being man of the match in the final of the Champions League. I said, no, I'm not having that. So, or is your boy being Lauti? I said, no. You're on mute, bro. You're on mute.
How?
Because you press mute.
You keep going on mute. I don't know what's going on.
I'm literally unmuted here. I don't understand what's going on.
You're not. Yeah, it's fine. You can talk now.
You can hear me now. I've done nothing. The thing is unmuted right here, live and direct. Don't call him Lauti. Show some respect.
I didn't invent that name. That's what he told me his name is.
World Cup winner. Show some respect. Carry on.
Okay, yeah, but back to my point. I mean, like PSG, I've shown at every stage in this Champions League. I've watched them in all the knockout games, and they've shown that they're a side with good, just good football IQ. The passing about the midfield. They've got free-flowing attackers. They're not stagnant. They're not boring. They're entertaining to watch, good on the eye. And they've got a lot of young, exciting talent that is able to move the ball and play nicely. I mean, we talk a lot about how teams want to focus on big stoppers. And, Arsenal have your Declan Rice. I don't know why I mentioned Declan Rice. But the idea that you've got João Neves, Vitinha, and they're just popping the ball about nicely. They're very intelligent players. And I remember we've had conversations about this in Ernie's shop about players like Jorginho and whether they get the credit they deserve. But winning on the big stage is a big shift in how people view the sport, I think. Just like in the same way when Pep won, his first titles with Barcelona, it shifted in a lot of people's minds how the game should be played going forward. And I just think this game is a key one because if Inter won, the winners write the story at the end of the day. If Inter won, it would have been viewed very differently to how it is now with PSG winning. And I think you'll see an effect of that in the transfer market and certain clubs and how the owners think and how the mentality of the clubs are. Because it goes by what wins.
Listen, I totally agree in the sense that, PSG was so deserving of this victory. They absolutely destroyed Inter. They were so good. They played good football. And people talked about this isn't the same PSG that we saw earlier in the season, this, that, and the other. And yeah, we saw a team, even like when they played Arsenal. I remember just the fact that they just kept the ball. And I put in the group chat when we were watching the game, live, that this is a Spanish side. Like I'm watching Spain here in 2008 and 2010 because it was just them with the ball only. I mean, Ousmane Dembele was pressing, guys, and I mean pressing
like a hawk.
He was on the goal line. Do you know what I mean? Just hugging Jan Sommer. I'm thinking I've never seen anything like it. And yeah, credit to them. I mean, they're fully deserved winners of this competition. But what's crazy about that though? They lost 5 games in the Champions League this season. 5, and have won the Champions League.
And one of them was at Villa Park.
Question needs to be asked.
0 to Arsenal, by the way.
Oh.
What was that for?
No, it is, Adrian, yeah?
What was that for?
That was fantastic timing.
So good. It was so good. What the heck was that for?
Adrian just sitting there being a mastermind, just going on Google and just finding things.
He's never attacked Arsenal. He's never attacked me on this podcast before. He's just
Peter, there's nothing personal. There's nothing personal.
I'm taking it personally. First of all, my team lost on Saturday. You know what I mean? And then you went to throw Arsenal with that. Jeez, what are you doing to me?
Fairs, man.
That's a Percy Ingle. I'm not gonna lie.
No, but what I was saying, I even said at the semi, I said, now PSG were a team that fully grew in the competition. Like at the start, we were questioning them. Like you said, they were just lounging in the bottom half of the league phase, and then
with
last couple of games started
it's
to pick
always
it up.
questions, isn't it? Because we've been here since 2012. You know,
don't you love it that it's just without the Galacticos, if you will? Okay, albeit there's still some top quality.
I think that's cap. By the way,
what do you mean?
Donnaruma's a Galactico.
That's why I put it like this because there's Dembele, there's Donnarumma, there's Kvaratskhelia.
I want a PSG to win, but we're not gonna romanticize it the way man are doing, because I feel like, you know, you've basically spent your way from 2012 to now, and the biggest Galactico has left, and people are pretending like it's Ander Herrera in midfield.
No, but the biggest three have left.
No, but my point is, like, it's like they didn't win the Champions League the way Liverpool won the league in 2000. Oh, sorry, Champions League in 2019. Like Sadio Mane,
I spent half 75 million quid.
Sadio Mane. No. My point is, like Van Dijk is not a Galactico when he goes to Liverpool. He's from Southampton.
But none of those boys.
He's the most expensive defender, though.
No. My point is, to me, a Galactico is you're like the best player in your club, and you've gone to like a team that's definitely challenging. Liverpool were not.
Surely, guys. We should know what this. You know, when Madrid, made their ones back in early 2000, Zidane, Figo, Ronaldo, Beckham.
It's the biggest names going to the biggest team to challenge.
Yeah. For me, the Galacticos at PSG were obviously Neymar, Messi, Mbappe, and then you can throw in.
But I think we should go before.
Zlatan.
Thank you, Adrian. I think we should go before.
Do you know what? But I feel like this is
this team with Zlatan, though.
I feel like this is a Zlatan PSG more so than what we had previously.
Thank you.
So I'm not going to go like it's Galactico as such, but I'm saying like this is like a Zlatan. It's not. We're not going to go on like it's the French. It's the friggin'. It's Clairefontaine.
I'm not saying that. Vitinha, Ruiz, and João Neves are Galacticos. I'm saying Donnarumma is. I'm saying Hakimi is.
Yeah.
Those guys were big dogs before they came to thing.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? And so I'm saying that there's a narrative that it's a grass to grace thing, and that's not true.
Yeah. No. I definitely agree with you on that. I mean,
some players agree. Other players like
Ousmane Dembele, for lack of a better phrasing, I don't mean it, but for lack of a better phrasing, is a failed wonder kid.
Yeah, no.
That went to Barcelona for at least 3 seasons, and 1 year he banged, and the other seasons he was injury prone.
Yeah.
Let's not make it look like he's not played at Dortmund, on the verge of being a Galactico, went to Barcelona, and it's like, oh, Dembele's this. Dembele's not. He's not flipping Anthony Martial. The baller.
Yeah.
No, but to that point, though. To that point, I think someone like Ousmane Dembele, I think that's kind of that sort of, that's where that romantic sort of idea about this PSG side comes from, because it's like that's a guy who for years and years and years he was touted to be this great guy, and he never was, right? And then Peter, and then you know how Peter's like, we're seeing this guy press now, and it's like, well, it's almost like a not necessarily rags to riches because he had money before, right? It's
a cultural shift for a big club, but I don't want us to make a narrative as if it's a Man United team. No, that's even like a Newcastle team that's won the Champions League.
No, it's not that. It's definitely
no one could ever do that. No one can.
But Oscar, they're talking
like pumps money. The pumps money.
Oscar, they're talking. All I've heard the last 2 days is Mbappe's left. There's no more Galacticos. That's not true. That's not true.
But there's none on his level. There weren't any on his level.
No, but like Figo and R9 were not on the same level.
I don't know.
Ernest, Figo was on that Ronaldo level in 2000.
Is it? Yeah.
In 2003.
Well, Figo joined in what 2000?
Yeah,
2001.
Figo joined 2002. Figo joined 2000.
Yeah,
Dude,
2000 sounds right.
Figo
Millennium
was
sounds right.
the best player in the world when he joined Real Madrid. He was the best in the
Mm.
world.
Was
Mm.
Figo being nominated for Balon d'Or in 2000?
Say again.
Top 3? Was Figo being nominated for Balon d'Or in the year 2000?
Don't know. Let me check that.
Did Figo not win a Ballon d'Or?
I was gonna say I thought he won a Ballon d'Or, to be honest. But
When?
I'll check.
I don't know.
It might have been the year that Barcelona sold him. I genuinely.
I don't know. I don't know if Galactico is the word, because for me, I don't look at PSG as Galacticos, but I don't look at them as grassroots. The only real person I'm looking at that like that.
Sorry.
The only person I'm looking at that like this guy is from the streets is probably Désiré Doué, who is a player that I love. Like, he has come from, what was he? Previously at
Figo was
Lille
on that
and
level in
also
2000.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he won in
Yeah.
2000.
But for me, I just, you know what, yeah? For a team that I don't think anyone thought, I remember when we looked at the last four, I think we all predicted that now PSG are the weakest of the four. That's what we all thought. And the fact that they've gone and only won it.
I didn't think
Yeah.
that. I thought Arsenal was the weakest of the four.
Okay.
The thing
And
is,
the reason I said that is because
Yeah,
PSG have been to the Champions League final in the last 5 years.
yeah, I think, but the Arsenal beating Real Madrid threw their stock high. That's what
Yeah,
it came down to.
all-time high.
Yeah,
It's because who we beat in
All-time
the quarter.
yeah, but
And the manner as well. Was it 5-1 in the end?
They were the champions, weren't they? So like, it's if you look at the champions, it's like, flipping hell.
yeah. But my perspective, I'm in the minority.
I was nervous.
I was in the minority where I thought like this Madrid loss is not a surprise because of the haram we've seen in the last couple of years. But yes, when the second free kick went in, I was shocked.
Man said when the second plane hit the tower, I was like, yo.
Oh dear.
Let's
There he goes. There he goes.
There he goes. Let's talk Luis Enrique as well, man. What a mastermind he's put together.
Okay.
What, Oscar? What do you want to do?
I was like, we should move on. I don't want to go back to what you just said.
Yeah, I don't know what else.
No, he wants to talk ball. He wants to talk ball.
I want to talk ball, guys. The other narrative that I didn't like seeing after PSG won was everybody consistently talking about Mbappe. Like, oh, Mbappe, what's Mbappe thinking? Mbappe must be so upset. Mbappe must be, this and that. And I'm just like, bro, Mbappe was there. He tried. He's now at Real Madrid. Like, why do people want to make
It's such lazy analysis, man?
People are like, oh, Mbappe's legacy is now like tainted, or because he left and they won it. It's like, what?
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say I do believe that he would have wanted to win it with PSG. It was his boyhood club, and the fact that it failed. It failed. Do you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, as much as he would love to win it with Real Madrid, because Real Madrid, I think, was always the pinnacle that he wanted, but I genuinely would think he would be sitting there salty today. I'm sure he would.
Because also, in a player's mind, right? If you can be the catalyst of a club entering the conversation, and bear in mind, when did PSG get formed in 1970? So if Mbappe was the guy to get them there first, it does look nicer in the light. To be fair. It does.
So do you think he would have wanted to win some rings at Madrid and then go back to Cleveland and get the ring at the end of his career?
He still could. Listen, that's never off the table. But yeah. Look, he'll be salty for a year, win it next year, and then he'll
win it next year, and then he don't care. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Question: does anybody know who 24K is?
I don't know.
He's angry. That's an artist, no?
He's angry. He's angry in the comments.
It's not lazy. You just don't like it.
Can we big up the PSG fans for the tifo they done with Luis Enrique and his late daughter Zana? I mean, I was like, that touched me, man. I was like, this is so cool. And one of the things I find crazy, like, as is how open Enrique like kind of talks about his daughter, or like if he doesn't talk about it, like he put the shirt on after the game, and like it was just things where everybody's you want to talk narratives. Everybody spoke about when he last won the treble, and won the Champions League. His daughter put the flag in the middle, and she was sitting on the trophy. Oh, yeah,
Sitting in the trophy. Yeah,
you know, and it was just like all of that. And then when the PSG fans pulled that out, I said, "Flip me, man. That's a different level."
I think someone said in the comments, I think it's 24K that Dembele's redemption arc is beautiful. I also think Lucho's
100%.
redemption arc is beautiful. I think that, you know, a lot of people wrote Luis Enrique off post Barca.
Crazy
Yeah.
to me.
A lot of people wrote him off.
Yeah, no, Peter was beating the drum. Yeah, I know.
I couldn't believe that. Like when you look at his career, like there isn't a time, there's not a part in his career where he peters off. So I never understood the.
No,
the
I think it was Spain people weren't rating, and for me,
Yeah.
international football to me is not the metric you use to judge a coach, in my opinion.
Two things on that, yeah. Remember the Spanish side he picked up.
That side was trash.
Do you remember what he picked? And do you know where he finished? Where did he finish in that World Cup? Or was it Euros even?
That
He
means
finished in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
Like we're not talking about a guy who has, you know, started hot, went down. This guy's put in the shift, put in the work. He was at La Masia. He then went to Roma. He did a very good job at Roma, by the way. Roma would bite your hand off to have him right now.
Although Peter, in fairness, I just want to say, in fairness to the Spain point, yeah, because I feel like there's traces of that Spain side in this PSG side, because I do feel like that Spain side, they did at times feel like death by 1,000 passes, where they'll literally just be passing, no penetration. Whereas now, it's still the same control, still the same sort of passing and dictating the play, but they've got the dribbling all over the gap.
The last bit of like the Pep DNA still in Spanish play, I think like if you look at 2011 Barca and what Spain were on, you know, after 2012, it was like the aggression was gone. When you look at like a PSG the last couple of days ago, you realize this is what Pep was on, but not on steroids, but I think a bit amped up, because the ferocity with which they were pressing, specifically the midfielders and Dembele, is like Barcelona-esque, but a little bit more aggression with it as well. And I think it helped because the Inter Milan midfield, which I really would need to get to,
deplorable.
Because I rate Inzaghi, but Vitinha was taking them for dog walks.
Bro,
it was mad. It was mad.
It was
but Oscar, you were gonna say something.
Yeah, no, just on that stuff about Enrique and the Spanish team and how they played, and then like when you've got that sort of techie midfield that is keeping the ball and is passing it around, and you understand that way of playing and you insert it into the players. The one thing that I think always lets the manager down in most of those situations is the front three lethal.
Sure.
Like, are they lethal?
Hang on.
Because
Yeah.
you look at this midfield, if you give them a different front three, it's a different outcome.
If you give them Man United's front three, is long.
It's a completely he has like the club went out and said, look, we've got Ousmane Dembele, now he's on top form. We're gonna bring in Kvaratskhelia, and that's like two top tier guys that at least in the final third, they're gonna execute on a pass, they're gonna execute on a finish. And then you've got someone like Désiré Doué, who just decided, at 19, I'm ready to just start
tonight.
final third actions. Like, but you can see many top managers having that same setup and failing at the final third because they've got flipping Havertz or someone.
Or Ferran Torres in Enrique's case.
Yeah.
I remember Enrique going into a tournament with Spain. This is when he had left because obviously the passing of his daughter. He walked into a tournament, the favourite to win it. They were the favourites to win the tournament, and then I think they got Lopetegui in that moment. It all went ping tong. It went mental after that.
Adrian. I saw that laugh when he said Lopetegui.
I never heard that. I swear I never heard that. No.
I like that you laughed at that time.
I'll take it.
Peter and Robin, the comments would like you to address a certain member of Inter's
There's no
midfield.
need.
SW6 would like to call to the stand Barella. 24K. So please, we need to talk about this scrub Barella who sneaked out of a stinker versus Barcelona and got shown levels by us.
Listen, let's have it right, okay?
Yeah,
I'll let
yeah.
you continue on, but let's start things off, okay? Inter Milan were deplorable on the day. No questions asked. There was nothing good in L'Equipe. I think L'Equipe's one of the hardest rated player rating thing in the world. They gave Enrique a 10 out of 10, but they gave 7 Inter players 2 out of 10, and they gave DeMarco, who had a stinker, 1 out of 10. He smelled tonguing.
Solo Sokoa.
First
He
of
has a-
all, he's bowled with a Mohican, so
God,
you
man.
know what time it is.
The thing is,
What time is it, Ernest? I don't know. Crazy.
he
Even
just came
back
from
then,
injury.
that wasn't cool. Not. Yeah, even back in 2010, that was acceptable. Let alone today. In
Yeah,
the final.
he came back from injury. He wasn't doing. He hasn't recovered since. This is an Inter Milan team that's played 59 games this season. Unfortunately, the worst week I think in their history, where
Yeah.
they one of the worst seasons ever, because they lost the Super the Coppa Italia to AC Milan in, I think, the semi or the quarter. They then lost obviously on the final day to Napoli for the league title, and then on the final hurdle against PSG, they absolutely got packed in. And this, for me, is just what I was aging watching this game, because I was looking at men that are. I mean, Cherby is playing at centre half in the Champions League. He's 37.
But
You know,
Jan
Sommer, we love Jan Sommer. He's 34, something like that. Like, there are players in this side where you just say, hang on a minute, where are you? And the midfield, as Ernest pointed out, listen, the PSG won the game in midfield. Full stop. They had the ball, they had everything. They completely bossed it. Inter just got run ragged. And on the day, you know what's funny? When you watch the Barcelona game, they looked knackered then. It looked like this was a game too far for them then.
Yeah.
Because even the goal scorers that were scoring in the last couple of
was saving them.
Yeah, he was. And it was unfortunate when he came on, he went straight away.
That injury looked nasty, man.
Yeah, sad. Inter just did not have anything left in the tank. And I don't know whether, like at the start of the season, I think Inter Milan, I predicted them to actually get to the Champions League final. But I thought they were a lot stronger. And like natural fitness. When I say fitness, I don't mean are you fit enough to run, but like after 60 games, can you still stand up tall? I expected them to still be here, but it was very clear from even since that Barcelona game in the league and everything else, they look like 30-year-old men across the pitch. And then Simone Inzaghi ran out of ideas in the game, because even when he was bringing on defender after defender, and the defense was getting worse. So you knew that, and at 2-0, you saw him lose it. You saw him absolutely lose it, and it was a man who looked like he's not got this under control anymore. And it's one of the things I love about, let's say, Italian managers. They always look like they're in control of the situation, especially like an Ancelotti. When Ancelotti's 2-0 down with Real Madrid, and it's 8 minutes to go, he's the coolest man on the block, and they go and win 3-2 somehow. Yeah. In this situation, we're talking about like passion gone too far, whereby he just lost his head. And Inter Milan, I don't know. I'm scared for what's happened to Inter, because like they got a second bite of the cherry for a final, because they lost the final to City. What they're not realizing is that was your final chance on Saturday. Those players there, that was your final chance. You're not going to be back in this final anymore.
This is like Atletico between 2014 to 2016.
100%.
Like, you're not, because to me, against City, they were much better than this.
Yeah, they were much better. And the issue was scoring.
And guess what? The midfield was different.
The midfield was different. They had also played 60 games that year, because they went and won the league that year. They got deep into the Coppa Italia.
That was Lukaku, 26 goals.
26 goals, Lukaku.
26 goals.
So when I watched this Inter, I'm like, wait a minute. Inter, like the mockery about Italian football is always old and tired men play slow football, but it literally was a parody of Italian football in our face on Saturday. And people loved seeing what PSG were doing, knocking that ball around, squeezed Inter Milan, chokehold them, said, you're going nowhere. We're going to beat you up. We're here to, and I don't know PSG to be a mature side or a side of experience in that sense. That's where like the manager for me comes into play, because it's like he knows what this is. He's been here before, and when he wins leagues, he wins trebles. He doesn't just do the league or do a double or whatever. So Yeah, Inter, for me, Inter, I don't know, like Inter are, unfortunately, Robin, we're going to see some hard years from this side because
And,
even if it
all of a
does
sudden,
leave,
Bastoni's going to be available. Barella's going to be available.
That's not good. And Barella needs time off on a real. He just needs time off. He's been the Barella talk cannot come forward. He has been outstanding. He's been Inter Milan's best player for the last 3 to 4 years. Player of the year every single year. He is outstanding. He's just hit the wall.
That's a real midfielder.
That's the thing. They've just hit the wall. Inter hit the wall, and it was just a game too far. It was a leg too far. Barcelona really are the ones that actually beat them up, and then to go and try and fight.
Peter, you're saying all the right things, and you know me, I love Inter, but this was bad.
It was.
This was really bad.
Yeah.
I don't care if you play 59, 72 games. This is the Champions League final.
Yeah.
To go lose 5.
Smoking on that and no weed.
They got 5 on it.
And it could have been more. If
it could have been more. That's the scary thing. It could have been more.
Yeah, if Barcola knows what where the target is, there's 6 and 7.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, yeah. A man asked me today, what do PSG need? I said, bruv, they need some attackers. Because you see Barcola and flipping what's the Portuguese brother's name?
Gonzalo.
Today.
Ramos.
Yeah, Gonzalo Ramos.
Get them out. Get them out. I watched them all tournament. I said, nah, these guys are not. Barcola's not it.
It's a shame because at the start of the season, or even last season, Barcola, Zaire Emery, Ramos, they were saying this was the one. 2-2s now. Doué's come in. You know what I'm saying? You know, Vitinha's in there. Fabian Ruiz. Do you know what, guys? I am so delighted. As a Serie A man, I know he's Spanish.
He's such a baller.
Fabian Ruiz of Napoli that I watched for years. To see him ball out the way he did, I was delighted. Delighted for him.
Over the moon.
And for me, he was player of the tournament in the Euros.
In the Euros, comfortably.
He was player of the tournament in the Euros, man. He was balling out. But for me, like I genuinely believe that this has also like highlighted why not to make it about United, this was a bad advert for 3 at the back. This is a very, very bad advert for 3 at the back.
Scary hours.
Because boy, they got touched.
Yeah.
They got moved to, man. Like I think there is a pretentious sort of like idea that the more numbers you have, the better you can defend. Bro, they were hitting them at every angle. High press, kept the ball, lower in the midfield. Vitinha, John Neves sweeping up. Fabian Ruiz was doing was moving the ball box to box, and the athleticism and the PMP in that PSG midfield, Inter couldn't live with it. So if your midfield isn't athletic enough to deal with to paper over the cracks of the wide areas you leave, that scoreline can happen many times over. I don't think PSG could believe the space they had.
It's crazy
in the middle of the pitch. And like I was watching it with D, and he was saying, "Oh, look at the possession." I said, "Inter Milan are not known for possession. And they're not known to be a possession side. They just know how to hit you on the break." And I think their fullbacks, their wingbacks, specifically DeMarco, neutralized. You could like this. I think Syria, as noble and as lofty as we and romanticized as we might like to hold it, because I get it. I get why you and Robin like Syria. I get it, because it's football. It's football in its potentially like most archaic, but also like purist, where you feel like, oh, like it's not about money. It's not about superstars. It's about the love of the game for what it is.
Yeah.
But I also think they also need to get with the program. When was the last time we had an Italian side national team where it was like, yes, these guys, don't get me wrong, everyone will point to the Euros in Wembley, But I don't feel like Italy's churning a
2010.
lot of these guys out that they used to. Bro, you lot saw the midfield I posted in the group chat. Cambiasso, Zanetti, Wesley Schneider. Are you taking a piss?
Real men.
Bro, real men. Like Barella's a real man, but them you can't. Çalhanoğlu is a failed number 10. Çalhanoğlu was playing 10. Was it in Hamburg?
I'm Leverkusen.
Frank, one of them German teams, and he was far too slow. Every time he was meant to be linked with a big club, I kept hearing things about his pace. He's not fast.
No.
Mkhitaryan left Arsenal in the banter era, for crying out loud. You're asking him to play box to box midfield?
He was cooked at United. He was cooked at United.
Thank you, Adrian. He was cooked, and he was playing number 10 them times.
Yeah.
Like, I think when I look at the midfield that Inter could have had, like, this is not it. This ain't it. This ain't it.
Yeah,
This ain't it, man.
Serie A, unfortunately, the difference between like Serie A and other leagues, the money just does not exist, and that's why everybody in Italy, when you look at the teams, they're all buying off each other, or they're rejects. Like Çalhanoğlu came from Milan. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about a guy that came across the road from there.
I think other leagues counter that by churning out young talent. The Portuguese league, the Dutch league, the German league.
Yeah, in Italy, historically, everybody is better older. So like everybody matures later. So like even and
that's the problem.
And this is the thing though. Do you remember like Locatelli was a big sign, was a big name at one point. He obviously got Tonali. You have Barella. They got players, but those are players that over time. It's like Verratti. Verratti didn't really get that acknowledgement unless you was watching him. He wasn't really getting that acknowledgement until he was a lot older. When you talk about your Bonucci's, your Chiellinis, people like that, even Pirlo, people started talking about Pirlo later when it was almost too late. When it was almost too late. So yeah, I'm saying youngsters in Serie A 27.
That has to change.
It's very much the case where it does have to change in order to get to join up with the levels. Or if you like every philosophy, like if every country sticks to their philosophy, they can win football matches, they can win tournaments, they can do things. It's just that when I look at Serie A or like look at Inter Milan's team, for example, how many nationalities were in that side? Too many. And this is why I'm a big advocate of like have your because like you say, if Italy need to produce and churn players, where are they?
But isn't that the philosophy of Inter? Wasn't Inter the club that wanted to buy players from outside the country?
Inter's the worst example because historically they've been known for, especially the South American market, they've historically been known for doing that. But like elsewhere, when I talk about like Juventus, for example, Juventus focused on pure Italian talent, and they would buy it. They would be like the Man United, where they would even buy the other Italian talent of the big guys. Do you know what I'm saying? Take them in their side. So yeah, anyway, but yeah, it's a long haul for Inter coming back and for Serie A in general. Anything else before we move on?
Yes, quick one.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm really, really happy for Marquinhos. He's a guy that's watched all of his brethren leave other teams, even his manager. He loved like Tuchel to go win Champions Leagues elsewhere, and I was like, nah, he's actually crossed the line because I think he's been there since 2012.
Yeah,
something like that.
12 seasons.
Yeah, it was in like Roma for like a year, and then he went straight there. Yeah, and he was young. He was really young, like 20 when he went there.
So I'm really, really happy for him, and ultimately, as the question for everyone every day because it keeps changing. I just even saw a quote for Lamine Yamal that he said today in his conference. I don't know why there's international football, but there is. But apparently he said, "Oh, you want the Balon d'Or to be decided on Thursday because it's Spain versus France. We could do it then." I said, "Oh, okay." But yeah, that's the quote that I've read just on Twitter just now. So,
lads, I'm conflicted with the Balon d'Or.
Yeah, my actual question is Balon d'Or shouts. Well, where are we now?
I don't know, man. Because what I'm seeing is now that everyone's saying they want Dembele to win it, and for me, I'm like, that's cute, but ultimately, I think it's because they want to pick the winner from the Champions League team. And my question is, when I wanted Rodri to win the Ballon d'Or, it had nothing to do with him winning the treble wherever it was the year before, wherever it was. For me, the guy was the best player in the world. I don't think Dembele's been the best player in the world this year.
For me, the Balon d'Or has to go to Rafinha. I just think he's been the most consistent player all season, and he won his league. Like, top player.
I'm probably being Premier League biased. Mine's Mohamed Salah, really and truly.
The Balon d'Or.
Guys, you know what?
I don't think he did enough in the Champions League for me.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like,
and the season kind of petered out.
Yeah,
I know we won the league early, but I just feel like your image of him, like towards the back end of the season, weren't really great.
But the thing is, his season will go down in history in terms of like individual performance, in terms of like the assist, the output he put in.
But Pete, will it go down in history as a numbers year or as a memorable year for you when you think of Mohamed Salah?
It will probably be numbers, but you know what's funny? It's the fact that do you know what amazes me about Salah this season? It's 2025 and he's doing this. Like we were amazed in 2018. We thought, raw. 2019, it was like, wow. 2020, 21, Salah is the man, right? 23 comes by, 22 comes by, 23 comes by, 24 comes by, 25, he's doing this. No, man, the consistency is too high for me for over his career at Liverpool that to not get the Balon d'Or. Honestly, it's up there with the Lewandowski not getting it. Do you know what I mean? It would be madness that he's not won a Balon d'Or. I'll be surprised because the Balon d'Or is an individual performance thing, isn't it? It's not a team thing. It's not, But yeah, go on.
Can I give you individual performance? Yeah, in the Champions League this season, Rafinha played 14 games for Barcelona. 13 goals, 8 assists.
Yeah. Hey, Oscar, if Rafinha wins it, there's not one. I'll be very clear. There's no complaint here.
I'm actually so mad at Inter Milan for robbing us of that final, but flip it.
It's only because of the way they performed on Saturday.
It would have been a classic, guys. It would have been one of the greatest.
Right. Can we move it along, Oscar?
Sorry, I had 2 questions from the comments that I had to get to. Mr. Chuck says, what was worse for Inter, the scoreline or the performance on the night?
What was worse?
That's such an interesting question because it's mad because the 5-0. Am I mad in saying the scoreline didn't really reflect the match? Like they were the better team. But it didn't look like a 5-0.
The performance on the night didn't change how I view Inter, in my opinion. I still think like the qualities that they have and have shown in the knockouts, they're still that team. And I'm seeing people say, "Oh, Simeone should get sacked" and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, no, they go again next year as a better and stronger team, learning from what they've gone through. But the result of 5-0,
I think the result is crazy.
Oscar, it's painful though. It's not easy.
It's the biggest loss in the final history of the entirety of Europe.
Oscar and Robin, they took our chain.
They took
I got no problem with that.
And then they lost the league.
What's the biggest? Didn't AC Milan?
No, it is the most one-sided because 2011 it was doubted as that Barcelona like dismantled us from minute 1 to minute 90. That chain is gone. that now belongs to the Parisians.
You know what? The thing with the game on Saturday, to answer the question, I genuinely can't. I don't have an answer. But what we saw was and I mean this literally. We saw the death of the Inter Milan side you've seen today. They got buried, and I think what was more surprising but the thing is that they weren't aware that they were dying. Like they came to the venue thinking, okay, Champions League final, it's our second chance, let's go again. And what happened was, it was like they then realized we don't have the minerals for this match. And that's more so like the performance for me is so much worse because of how awful they were. They were so bad for a Champions League final, and all X, Y, and Z. Like the scoreline, everything PSG hit went in. If you can make the argument, right? Let's say this game could have been a 2-0 or 3-0, just because that's how football works.
That's what I'm saying.
20 shots on goal.
I don't think it reflects. I don't think this like they got battered, but I don't think that's a 5. I think that's like a 3-0.
It's on a normal day. It's like a 3-0.
I can't lie. I disagree. I think the scoreline was perfect. I think the battering reflected the scoreline because I think it could have been more.
But we saw a cremation. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't see a
Hence
football
why
match.
I said 5-0 was fair.
This is like, you know what? Germany, Brazil is a perfect example of this. Is a perfect example of this because when
it was perfect execution.
It was execution.
And that's like when Liverpool beat us 7-0, people were clowning me in the shop because I said, no, guys, that's a freak result. They had 8 shots on target and 7 went in.
Yeah, that never happened.
That doesn't happen. So
No,
Robin, I'm saying, like, look, I'll give you 2 goals. The one that came, I think it was the second goal, Doué's second goal, is a deflection, and it's stupid defending. So I'm not gonna allow him for that. Yeah, that was stupid defending. Don't turn your back on the ball. Yeah, that's dumb. Then there was the one that came off the post and in. Like, those are real AFCON finishes. So I'm not saying that it wasn't a 5-0. I'm saying, like, I've seen, like, Jose's first El Clasico is a 5-0. You were comprehensively beaten. This was that, but PSG just, as soon as that press in the middle third got past certain players, it was open season. And sometimes you miss. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know how to explain what I mean, but I think the 7-1 is perfect. Everything that PSG put through them went in.
There's some goals that PSG scored when the ball was on the byline in PSG's half. You know, losing the ball. I think Barella loses the ball near the corner flag. They've gone on and scored from it. Like the ball went from left to right. There wasn't a football match. There was not Inter did not arrive. This was burial settings, man. They got laid in.
I'm with SW. Is the performance? The performance was
for me,
worse.
I think in the end, yeah.
The performance was worse.
Right, Oscar. Any other questions before I need to move on because we're still on the first topic after an hour.
Excellent.
I tried to move these conversations on, and it's like, wait. It's like, no, just freaking move on. Chelsea win the conference. Champions. They win the conference, whatever it's Conference League.
The Conference League,
the UEFA Conference League, or the UCL as it's known officially.
Whatever. Well done to Chelsea. I mean, it was a bit harem scarum in the beginning. Real Betis gave them a bit of a challenge in that first half. Oscar, what was your thoughts during that game, and how are you feeling? Maresca got another trophy under his belt.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I didn't know how much I cared until we went 1-0 down. I treated this like it was a normal match. I didn't watch the build-up. I just turned on the TV at 2 minutes to 8. Turned on the TV. I said 2 minutes to 8. I said, "Cool, let me watch some football." All of a sudden, we're getting packed in. We're 1-0 down. Isco's moving like back in the day.
Isco was a kid.
I said, "What?" Back. Yeah, we were getting slapped up, and I was angry at Maresca because he didn't play the strongest possible team. I think he did. He gave everybody their flowers, didn't it? He was like, Jorgensen, you're going to play in goal because you don't normally play. Badiashile was going to play. What's my man's name? Gusto was going to play. Chalobah. All of the guys that were playing in the Conference League, he gave them the opportunity. But then he took that away from some other players. So he didn't play Tyreek George, who plays most of those games. Keenan Dewsbury Hall has the highest average rating of any player in that tournament, because he played all the games and was consistently getting like 8 out of 10, scored a load of goals, blah blah blah. Didn't work in the first half. The changes were not.
Nat's good. Last 2 comments are crazy.
did Taser play at centre back? I'm assuming when he says Taser, I'm assuming he means Disasi. Disasi is on loan at Aston Villa, so definitely not.
And the one before that, I said he's the Argentinian Leon Osman. That was great.
We can talk. Wait, after we go through the game, we can have a little pit stop on Enzo Fernandez because it's a very interesting. It's a very interesting one. But yeah, Enzo made changes at halftime because Gusto was getting absolutely slaughtered. Gusto got cooked to oblivion, and he brings him off. Brings on Reece James, Adrian's favorite right back. and the game we just had a little bit more control. We just had a little bit more control, a bit more freedom, but we still weren't unlocking the team. And part of what I was saying earlier with the Enrique thing and the Spain thing is that you can have all the possession, you can dominate the ball and pass it around very well. But if your front three are not lethal attackers in that final third, if they don't get in the box and strike fear into defenders and make moves that, you know, are not coached into them, they have the ability to do it with their own mind, you're never going to win football matches. And I remember Thomas Tuchel had an interview back when he was PSG coach. He had an interview with Rio Ferdinand, and he said a quote that was very, very similar. He was like, look, I can coach you so much, but once you get into those final third position, he was like, I can't tell Dembele when to shoot. I can't tell these guys when to cut in. Like, some players just have to have it. You have to have it instinctually within you. And that's exactly what happened in this game. Cole Palmer takes the ball, says, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to create something. Creates Enzo's first goal, creates Jackson's second goal. And that's it. We won that game purely off of Cole Palmer just turning up and saying, give me the ball. Let me do something. And then the momentum was with the rest of the team to go on and do what they needed to do. So personally, I think we've accomplished what we meant to accomplish this season. Top 4 trophy. We now move on to the next. Maresca saved his job. But yeah, I'm happy that a lot of these players finally got a taste of winning. They got something under their belt. And yeah, what did you lot think?
You know, shout out to Chelsea, man, because at the end of the day, I doubted them from the minute the ball was kicked. When you played at home to Man City, I doubted the manager. Wasn't really feeling any of it. And, you know, at the end of the day, like you said, the way you perfectly wrapped it up at the end, you know, got to a final. Listen, everybody expected Chelsea to go to the Conference League final. Everybody expected Chelsea to win the conference.
Got to do it.
Yeah. And to be honest, you know, you did it with like a second string side, to be fair, to get all the way to the final. So, you know, every English team that goes in there, not to blow my own trumpet, blow our own trumpet. I don't know what the word is, Premier League head, whatever. But every Premier League team should be going there and winning that tournament. And if they don't, questions have to be asked. In the same breath, you still got to beat what's in front of you. You still got to do. The fact that Chelsea, this Chelsea side got in the top 4, remarkable. They've had a great season.
Yeah. That's all I wanted from you, Keith. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah,
I'm very happy with that.
Anything else on this before we go into
Fair man.
I think this should be the shortest discussion today, man.
Say again?
I think this should be the shortest discussion today, man.
Yeah, I'm ready to move.
Yeah,
there's
I'm
lots
ready
to
to move on.
discuss, guys. There's lots to discuss.
There's nothing to discuss, Oscar.
Oscar can't believe it.
You want a trophy you were supposed to win. Let's go. Let's move on.
No. But I think when we spoke about the PSG final, we spoke about what that game means for football going forward, and let's talk about really what.
Adrian, anything else?
By the way, this thing of win for football, just by the way, on PSG, they have the highest wage bill in Europe. I just want to leave that one there.
Just leave it there.
Move on to
Just leave it there.
The money won the competitions this season. Like the bottom teams in the Premier League were in the Europa League final.
Yeah.
Chelsea have spent 1 billion. PSG have spent God knows what. Let's move on to the next conversation.
Guys,
one last thing, yeah.
There we go.
Do you guys think? No, it's not even a bad one. Do you not think? I'm seeing Chelsea players get a lot of stick for celebrating the Conference League. Like, I'm seeing players say that, the mentality's off when they're celebrating and jumping up and down on the pitch.
Some of these
I can't believe what I was seeing.
Yeah, man.
Man can't win. Man can't lift the trophy and then act like, yeah, this is not. We don't want it. You're in it.
Yeah, the heck. Yeah, you played the competition. You won the games. Celebrate your thing, man.
And we all know why you were in it, because we won the FA Cup. It's not because you were supposed to go there automatically. So you know, yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And now we've got Delap on the way in.
What's your thoughts on that? What's your 2 cents on that?
We spoke about it a bit in the group chat. The striker that I wanted Chelsea to get was Victor Osimhen. The fact that we've gone and got Delap, knowing that we still have Jackson, to me does not seem to make sense, because to get the best out of either of those, they need to play 38 games. Jackson played all the games this season and ended on 10 league goals. Wow. You know my opinion on Jackson. He's not good enough. I would like to move him on. But then if you're bringing in Delap, I feel like
I don't think he's a needle mover.
Yeah, he's definitely not. He's definitely not. Like,
mover.
Nicholas Jackson last season got 14 goals. If Delap got 14 goals in a full Premier League season, that's a good season for him. But is it good enough for Chelsea? No. Like,
but
we need
you're
someone
you're not surprised that you've gone for Liam Delap, are you?
No, I think I'm not surprised.
Because Chelsea's philosophy has been very clearly stated. They're not buying players over 24 years old. From memory, Victor Osimhen's about 26, 27.
That's not even it, though. It's the players of a certain level of quality. Like, I'm fine with you saying, "Oh, we're only going to buy younger players," but as he said, is he a needle mover? Like, is he taking the club further forward now? I just don't see it.
No, but Oscar, I know you're sorry. Continue. Sorry.
Because, like, I'm fine with us, because Chelsea have been buying a lot of potential recently. And I can kind of understand when you're buying, like, when we signed Esteval, is a 17-year-old wonder kid that is, you know, a lot of clubs wanted him. We signed another kid called Kendry Paez, who's coming into the squad this season. These players are, like, the most sought-after young talent.
Even the one you signed today.
What?
What's his name? Yeah.
Oh, Adrian, they signed.
Yeah, they signed someone today. Yeah, from Portugal. Yeah.
But
No,
Quinton's another one.
Oh my! There's more. I'm bored, man. Go and challenge for a league, man.
Welcome to Chelsea today.
Let's check these books. Can we check? Can somebody check?
Adrian, his name is Dario Asugo from Sporting CP, and he's meant to be sick.
Yeah, we need to check these books, guys.
So here's my thing. When Chelsea are signing those type of talents, and the clear indication is they're going to go on loan, they're going to be developed, and then we're either going to sell them for more than we bought them, or they're going to try and integrate them into the team. Like, we've got Andre Santos, who's Young Player of the Year.
Apparently, he had a really good season in France.
Yeah. He literally won Young Player of the Year, and then he's going to come back into our side. Those kind of things make sense. What I don't understand is why we buy players in for now that don't improve our squad right now. They don't take us to the next level. Like, today, I'm playing. We're signed with Gittins from Dortmund.
Yeah, from Dortmund. Yeah.
Like, sure, good prospects, but is he even better than Neto and Madueke? Like, no. The answer is today, yes. So
and then make my day and sign Jadon Sancho. Please make my day.
Sancho's going to be a Chelsea player. I'm pretty confident in that fact. But then what it is going to mean is that at the beginning of the season, Peter is going to come to me and go, Oscar, you spent 230 million. You have to challenge for this, or you have to do that. And I'm going to be like, guys, half of these players Maresca won't even be using. Like, we're going to spend a bunch, and it's going to be £1 billion bottle jobs, but half of them are not even on the pitch.
No, guys, let's have a conversation. What is going on Chelsea's books? This is not legal. You've named 3-4 players that you've signed or signing this summer already. It's not. It's just June. Just
what's there to discuss? What's there to discuss?
I feel like I've just discussed it.
No, Pete. This is year 4. We're going into year 4. And how many times have I said to Oscar in the group chat, Chelsea fans ain't angry enough for me? They're not. They're not angry enough for me. Everyone's just happy, and I think there might be a little bit of the euphoria from the trophy win, but I'm telling my Chelsea clients, like, bro, you guys won the Champions League 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Man United have been a laughingstock for 12 years. We have accepted our fate. Chelsea are still trying to be, because to me, my favorite rivalry that I felt like we were challenged the most was when Chelsea were Chelsea.
Yeah.
And for me, Chelsea are the little bros that I like.
It had to be all that. It had to
no,
be
but it's true though.
It had to be all that.
Liverpool 47, United 44. Yeah.
What? Sorry?
Liverpool 47, United 44, Arsenal 30.
the gap is massive after that.
Are y'all my little homies? Know what I mean? Listen. I'm like, why are Chelsea fans still buying kits? Why are you endorsing this Central C in the advert? Get to Stamford Bridge and tear the windows down.
But only, you know what they've done? They went to Sporting CP. They're like, okay, look, well, we like the looks of these two young wingers, right?
Yeah.
So they've done the tail of a tape, they assessed it, they looks at his diet, they looks at his bloodline, and then guess what, Ernie? They won't understand both of them anyways. It's boring. I can find another Sporting CP teenage winger.
And
how come I'm driving through the door yet?
And ultimately, your challenge to them to win the league will be forgotten by December, and we'll be back here in May talking about Chelsea are in the top 4. And it will be a non-discussion.
Facts, because
it will be a non-discussion. That's why when people are asking, like, can we discuss? I'm like, what's there to discuss? Pete, 2026 May is year 4.
I need some. What's the new letters now? What are the
audit? You need an audit, is what you want.
No, but like, as in, like, it's PRS, PPL, FLP, financial fair play, whatever they're called anyway. Whatever the PSR, that's the new one. Anyway, all right. Before we move into
amalgamation, whatever that means.
Ernest said that it's been 4 years since Chelsea won the Champions League, and honestly, it feels like 10. The only reason I know it's been 4 is because for some reason Chelsea happened to be in the Club World Cup this year. So the math somehow adds up that we've won it recently. But that squad doesn't exist anymore. They tore it apart and now have put together a squad that just makes Champions League football on the final day. Yeah, I don't know what else I can say about that.
Liam Delap, I can't believe it. Honestly,
and we're signing Liam Delap.
Anyway,
like Delap.
It's such a bad go to.
Two bits of breaking news. I'm a Man United fan, so I have to say it. Robin probably knows. You guys probably know. And Mbeumo agrees to Man United move. According to David Ornstein.
According to the Orn.
To the Ornstein.
And then number 2, Ryan Mason's gone to West Brom. That's not news.
Hey, no, that's not.
I mean, big up, Ryan. You get me? Murder Mace.
Oh my thing! I think you're gonna say something like I'm shaking. Said Ryan Mason was going to
listen, after the shake, a couple trees with dancing.
Listen, that is a two important positions attended, but still not enough people have left my club. So let's move on.
Can I say something quickly about Mbeumo?
That's positive.
Do we give Thomas Frank enough credit for what he's done with the?
No, you don't. I've been calling that out from everybody on this frigging podcast year in, year out. Do we give Thomas Frank enough credit?
Nah, he's got 2 first names, man.
He's got, bro. Look at I don't think you know what Brentford is or what it was.
No.
Who are Brentford?
Thomas Frank.
You know, like when you hear championship sides, you hear about, you might hear a young Coventry, Derby County, maybe an Ipswich Town, Sunderland, Leeds. When you think of League One, you might think maybe Bolton, the people that used to be in the Premier League. You might think of obscure ones here and there. Man, them never knew about Brentford. You thought it was a non-league football side back in the day. You thought it was non-league.
I just knew they were in West.
Brother.
He had Ivan Toney getting 20 plus goals. He sold him. Wissa has now got 19 this season, and then Mbeumo got 20. That's crazy.
Oscar, guess what? The striker he did sign, he done his ACL, so he had no summer signing.
Dude, Oscar, do him justice. Go back further. He had Ollie Watkins tearing it up in the championship. Sold him. He had Saido Benrahma. Yeah, but these were players that were killing it. Morpie.
No Morpie.
Bruh. Thomas Frank should have been a Tottenham manager ages ago.
Oh, so did you think that's a good move?
He still might be.
I mean, Thomas Frank being at Brentford is a scandal, if I'm honest. Scandal. He's one of the best managers in the Premier League. Anyway.
It was actually 19 SW6. Hold that, man. Hold that.
Score 20 goals. Crazy enough. Let's grade these Premier League teams, shall we?
Let's grade them. Paul O'Grady. Let's go.
Paulo
Wait, are we
Grady.
doing all of them?
We'll do it very quickly. We ain't got to say much on them, but we'll do it very quickly.
A.
Southampton. Southampton in 20th place.
You.
It's letter grading.
I think no. What's the
We do minus you.
Minus you?
what's the one when you don't turn up? Is that an X?
Yeah,
That X exists.
that's an X.
Yeah, that's
X
you.
exists.
No, you is if you get so use like if I get 2 out of 50.
It's like
It's when I don't even sit the exam.
You missed the exam.
You means you wrote your name.
Guys, they sat the exam though.
Fair.
They did. Oh, but did they?
That's every ground.
But did they?
Anyway, we're struggling. X for Southampton. Is that fair?
Calm.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Ipswich Town, by the way, who finished below Leicester. Think about this.
X.
X as well for Ipswich Town.
It is an X. It's an X.
I know it's just a semantic. I'm tempted to give them a U, you know.
I'm going you.
Mad.
I'm going you. Oscar, they were a League
All
One
the
side 2
teams in
seasons
the
ago.
bottom three deserve X.
No, but
They've got a lot of League One players in there.
Town
Exactly.
have got.
Exactly.
Sean Mawson.
I mean,
You know that Luke Davis brother, he's awful at defending. I remember them saying that they should take him to the Euros. Every time I saw a highlight, he was getting porked. Good grief, man.
Guys, I'm
Right,
giving him
okay.
an F. I'm giving him an F.
Oh,
so
F
we've
is
got
high.
F, U, and X. So we'll go in the middle. We'll go you then. Leicester City.
Guys, we are wasting time.
That's a U.
You.
That's a U.
Low
X, sorry.
key.
That's a
We're
X.
wasting time. Let's kick off to Tottenham.
Tottenham Hotspur P17. What are they getting? 17th place. You
Well, it's either an X or an A. There's no between.
turn it in.
It's definitely not.
It's true.
You know what?
It's either we judge them on the 20 games lost or the trophy delivered. So it's
22.
Listen,
No,
that
no,
trophy
what-
stuff
what-
ain't fooling me.
Including the
Trophy,
Europa League.
including Europa League trophy, is a D. It went from an F to a D.
No,
That's too high.
D's high. D's too high. I'm so sorry. 22 L's.
F.
Okay, I said if you're including the trophy,
Robin, I'm with you, you know. Robin, I'm with you.
Not a
if you're
D.
including the trophy,
He's crazy, guys.
D's no
They
way
won-
too high.
They won the Europa League.
They finished 17th. They didn't even get 42 points, Oscar.
I give them an E.
They're getting an F.
Oh, F.
What's going on here?
F.
What's going on here? It's an F team, bro.
It's
I
F.
just
bro.
said I
They
give
lost-
them an E.
In the normal season, they would have got
You
relegated.
know what?
Thank
You know what, Robin and Oscar, yeah? After they won the Europa League, they then got packed in by Brighton the following week at home.
And-
4.
And they paraded the trophy afterwards.
And then had the cheek to still parade the trophy.
The cheek.
Some teams are getting packed with no trophy.
F. Wolverhampton Wanderers in 16th.
Oh,
F.
that's an F.
Wolves.
That's
That's
an
it.
F.
That's it.
Wolves got 20 L's. That's an F.
That's the F, guys.
That's an F.
Guys, Wolves' squad should have gone down this year.
F.
That's the F, man. Hey, shout out my boy Strand Larson.
for Wolves,
40 goals
like,
for Strand
better-
Larson, by the way.
Better
Where
to
did
my
Wolverhampton
Liverpool
finish
Wolves.
last year?
Wolves cannot have the same rating as Tottenham. I'm not having that.
Yeah, I'm having that. Yeah, I agree.
Wolves
I
have
agree.
to have a higher rating than Tottenham. There's
Wolves,
no
lost,
way.
Wolves lost 18 games last season.
Yeah, but Wolves, I'm talking about.
18!
Well, okay,
And
here's
they've
my
lost
thing.
20 this year.
Peter, there's only 38.
Look
It's
at
still
their
less than
squad.
Tottenham. Still less
Look
than
at their
Tottenham.
squad. Look at their squad, guys.
That's part of it.
It does well to stay in the league. It's just the fact that the
I
bottom three
personally
are
think.
horrific.
Wolverhampton should be higher than they are.
I think they should have a D.
F.
Like I think Wolverhampton should be better than West Ham.
Really?
Yes.
No way. After the money that West Ham has spent.
Ernest, that's insane.
Well, we just discussed money with Chelsea.
The
Money doesn't
conference
mean you're going to do
champions,
well.
the former conference champions should be below Wolves. No chance.
Hold on. What
No
did West Ham done this year?
Look at their squad. Well, I thought we're grading them based on what we expect this team to do in a league season.
West
what
Ham.
West Ham have done is
West Ham.
shocking.
You're talking about the money they pumped in. West Ham have 3 less losses than Wolverhampton.
Yeah, but West Ham is poor. We'll get to West Ham. Let's focus on Wolves.
I think West Ham's grade should be worse than Wolves.
Should be worse than Wolves, 100%.
But I think Wolves don't deserve anything.
I still think it's an F.
Ernest, put it this way: when you're there throwing a dart at the start of the season and you got West Ham in your hand, where are they going? You're not throwing them below 15. Surely.
Why?
The squad is far better than that.
Is it?
They qualified for Europe 2 years on a
West
bounce.
Ham squad is so much better than what it's done.
I don't know, man.
Anyway, Wolves, guys, let's
I said F.
Wolves can't have the same grade as Spurs.
Yeah. Did not give them any?
What's the average? What's the average? What is the average? I'm saying F.
We gave Tottenham what?
F.
Okay, so that means Wolverhampton, Man United, and West Ham are all E.
No,
Oh,
definitely not.
Careful on the United point. But
No. Hear me out. Are we saying we're judging Tottenham based on where they should be?
yeah,
Correct.
Yeah.
We're judging where everyone should be.
So if we're judging Tottenham based on what they should be, then I think we should scrap the entire Europa League.
No, because it's the season.
No.
But
But that's why I'm getting confused. Because if you're judging someone based on the season, then judge them on the season. Don't judge them on the team they should be.
The thing is, if Tottenham hadn't won the Europa League,
based on what they have.
If Tottenham hadn't won the Europa League, they would have got a U. The fact that they got a Europa League climbed them so high to an F.
Yeah.
It should have been. It's a U for Tottenham.
That's a U plus.
But a U.
That's a U plus.
U plus is crazy.
U plus is crazy. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So anyway, Wolves.
I'm being also serious, by the way.
Oh, it's an F. It's an F.
Did I think it's an E as well? Because because remember they were actually flirting with relegation. They had that period of form where Cunha was just hooping and they were clear. And bearing in mind, because under Gary O'Neill was ropey, man. I think they tried.
Shaky warrior. And Vincent Pereira wasn't necessarily a favoured guy when he came in, and he's just done nothing.
Okay, so we're judging teams of what they should be.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
I'm going E for Wolves because they came out of the slums, man.
I'd go E.
Relegation comfortably.
I'd go E.
I'm giving an F, but fine.
Oscar?
F.
Cool. So what? 2 E's, 2 F's. Ernest, you're the decider.
F, man.
They lost Kilman as well. They lost Kilman.
Bro, I don't give a damn. Like this is
Damn it.
Right.
This is poor.
Manchester United. Manchester United.
X.
X.
I'm giving them an X.
I'd go X.
Yeah. It's X or U. It's X or U.
I mean, they got to Europa League final.
Ungradable. It's ungradable.
And look what happened in that final.
Yeah, it's X.
I'm with you, man. You, man.
I might go U. I might go U.
But when you based on what, Peter? They didn't win the game for 3 months.
It's the worst possible season United could have had without getting relegated.
X for me. They got 42 points.
The relegation, isn't it? X is the relegation.
No, but this is tantamount. No, because bear in mind, it's Man United. This is tantamount to relegation.
And also, let's have it right. Let's have it right, because we talk about kind of what you expected from this club at the beginning of the season and where you no one ever had Man United getting relegated.
Wildest dreams.
Now it's a thing. It's a flipping thing that we were even talking about at the end of the season, not like 10 games in.
It exists in the annals of history that Manchester United essentially got relegated again.
That's disgusting. It's an X. This is the worst possible. Guys, Manchester United.
Because what happens when they get relegated next season, for example? What do we grade them?
But the grade resets next season.
Now when you say what's possible, that one stung a bit.
No. As in hypothetically.
No, but Pete. Now
the grade restarts.
We have seen the depths of what is possible for United.
This is the lowest it's been.
Okay, so
I swear to you, I didn't think it could get this low. I swear.
Agreed. But if United did go down next season, what is your grade?
Their grade then would be
minus
X again.
So man are getting X's for the. Okay.
Yeah.
X.
Because
move on.
Endo's point is exactly why we should be X.
What is Endo saying? Manchester United haven't won back-to-back games.
Yeah,
all
end
season.
of discussion.
Yeah, get
Correct.
these guys out
X.
off my screen.
Correct. X. Okay. West Ham United finished 14th in the league.
F.
Won
Yeah.
11, drew 10, lost 17.
Solid F.
Yeah, solid F. Solid. Strong.
They get an F from me. It's poor.
How you finishing that low with Kudus and Bowen in this league?
Yeah. Too good.
Paqueta, get out of it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Hey, I'll give my thoughts on Kudus to myself. I ain't saying nothing, man.
Let's talk on him next season.
It's a fix, man.
Everton P13
D.
finished.
I was gonna
with,
say C, you know.
Oh, C's high.
Season is crazy.
Brother, Everton
Seems too high.
have been flirting with death the last 2 seasons.
No, they have.
How many times have we
D.
said Everton have escaped death? They should be
Too many times. I remember there's one time Pickford turned into Buffon, bruv. He was bro. Listen, so you know, I know people don't rate. I know people that rate Pickford, right? But the save this guy was making, there was a double save. It was against Brentford. Oh, anyways.
I think Pickford should be Chelsea's next goalkeeper.
I think it should be Aaron Ramsdale, if I'm honest.
Nah, Pickford, man.
Oscar's a poor. Oscar
Guys,
is disgusting.
Everton squad is Kieran Dyer.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Kieran Dyer.
That's a good point.
I'm looking at a C- or a D+.
D.
I'm thinking more D, to be fair.
Because take away the last year Goodison
We've got
Park.
Ashley Young and Seamus Coleman playing games.
They've been mediocre.
I hear it.
C's a passing grade.
No,
They didn't pass me.
guys. Everton drew one more game than Arsenal Football Club.
Wow.
Yeah, C it is.
Draws are pointless, you know. Bloody hell.
For Everton, they were 0.4.
They're literally not
Okay.
pointless. But yeah.
What are we saying? C, D? Where are we? Are we
I'm
agreed?
giving a D.
How many? I gone C with Ernest. Oscar?
I said D.
AD. If he can contain himself.
Yeah, decided vote, man.
He's given Everton the D.
Adrian is so childish.
Crystal Palace.
I'm sorry.
Crystal
B
Palace.
money. B money.
They get an A.
They're playing with an A still, I can't lie.
They are getting an A.
They're playing with an A still.
Palace got an A.
Why is Palace's FA Cup enough to transport them to an A? But then Spurs' Europa League didn't really.
You know the answer to that.
You know the answer to that. I can't back you, Oscar, for that one.
One of the teams has. Bro, Ernest, he obviously doesn't watch football. One of these teams hasn't won a competition in their life. A major Champions League one.
Fair. I give him a B.
A, man.
I can't lie. They've got an A from me.
Do you know why they got a B from me? Do you know why they got a B from me? Because I actually rate Glasner. Like, I rate his thing. Like, I rate what they do.
That's he should be doing this,
bro.
I think they should be a top half team. They should be a top half team.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Okay, wait. Why should they be a top half team?
Because they're a good side. They've got a top.
They shouldn't be top 10.
They've got
No way.
10 in Mateta. They've got a good solid manager.
Man said one player. They give the rest.
I said two.
If you actually go through it brick by brick, they've got a really strong team, you know.
Nah.
Muniz at right back, Lacroix, Gehi centre half.
Come on, Gehi, they're touting 60, 70 million for that kid.
Why
Henderson's a good keeper.
Listen,
Eze, have we said Eze yet?
Yeah, we said Eze.
Yeah,
but yeah, A.
Go on, Endo's listen though.
Listen, A. Well done, Crystal Palace. You passed with flying colours.
Fairs. I'm not mad at it, but it's not where I would go.
They won the FA Cup. They beat C.
I hear it. I'd give it a B. I'd give it a B.
Right. Fulham, 11th place.
Ooh.
Solid B.
D.
Solid B for me.
C.
C, borderline D, because they're technically
Hey,
Do you know why? It's because they've been finishing in the higher half of the table the last couple of seasons.
Let's hear from Sam.
Yeah.
Sam said B. We broke our score record in the league, but
Okay.
fell flat in the last 5 to 8 games of the season when so many European squads were up for grabs. Big wins, but drew to Southampton.
Oh, I remember we talked about that on the pod. Actually, I remember we spoke about that. Guys, Fulham, they weren't even in the league that long ago. What are you talking about?
But Pete, how are you finishing in the bottom half of the table and getting a B?
It's Fulham. It's like a side that's got rent. That's just been promoted.
He's saying we're judging them what we expect the teams to do.
Yeah,
bro. Fulham. If Fulham finished 10th every season between now and the end of the season, or wherever it is, where are they? 11th, right? If Fulham finished 11th for 10th from now for the next 3 years, B.
Why is it 11th, 10th?
I'm giving places because they finished 10th.
To me, 10th is a B.
Bro, what are you saying? A C?
Yeah. If it's 11th, guys. If it's 11th.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Sam. They've just come up.
A C is a pass, man. You're getting there.
Guys, and again, are you watching like what's happening with what's his name? Marco Silva. Are you watching the growth of this team? They lost Mitrovic, right? Do you even remember that?
That's like 2 years ago, though.
But you can't tell. The point is that they've still teams like Fulham, when they lose big players, right? When you're a team that's probably come up 2-3 seasons ago, you lose a big star. To be able to still have players churn it out, have the right manager, play good football, and win games, nah, man. Fulham have been tremendous, mate. They've been brilliant.
What is it A for Fulham then?
Say again.
Whoa.
If they got Europe, they would have got an A.
An A would be a European place.
Did you say
A? They finished 11th.
I've given them a B. I've given them a B. Like he said,
I will accept C, but I was not feeling B, not at all.
Bro, they beat the top 4 teams, bro.
So what? What does that mean if you're trying to Southampton?
It counts for something. It counts for something, Oscar. It counts for something.
You drew to Southampton. What does that count for?
Well, but they beat the big 4. You said, "Wow, I'm impressed by that."
What they do?
But the wins against the top 4 teams moves to B. 100%, man. I'm going B. Let's vote quickly.
I'm going C.
C.
A, B.
C.
So Ernest, what was you going to go for?
C.
Okay, C it is. I tried, Sam. Brentford 10th. B plus. B plus.
Okay.
B. It's a B.
They lost 12 games.
That's good.
It's not B plus. It's a B. It's a B.
Yeah, B.
That's fantastic.
So who did they finish last year? Did they not finish 17th last year?
Who? Brentford?
I
can find out for
Brentford finished 16th.
Yeah, quite low last year. So to get 10th, they've lost their best striker as well.
And had to convert their 2 forwards into absolute assassins to get to where they are. And they did it.
And they both got north of 15 goals as well.
Tremendous job.
Yeah, B. It's a B. It's a B. It's a solid B.
Who did they even sign? Like even the signings this year, what? Yeah, because the Brazilian striker, Danny's ACL.
End those point, please.
Carvalho has been a nothing player, and Van der Berg is young. So yeah, man, I think
it's a B, man.
B plus, man. And
there's no pluses, man.
Their stadium, I think, had the most goals this season. But they scored the most home goals this season.
Yeah,
in the Premier League.
Whoa. Do you remember that period of like a month where they were scoring in, like the opening minute every week?
Yeah,
it was so weird. Hey guys, do you know one player I can't stand? You know Keane Lewis Potter. I don't know, he's just so mid. He's just so aggressively mid. I can't stand. He's like an old school right midfielder. I can't stand him. But yeah, man, big them up though. Big them up.
Yeah, interesting scenes. Sam's not happy. Brentford converted one more draw to a win versus Fulham, and they get a B. Yeah. What did they do in any League Cup?
You know what? That's a good point because I think we're considering the cup runs of the winners, but not the cup runs of all the other teams. I think Sam raises a good point.
Because Fulham got to the semi-final, no?
I don't give a monkey about cup runs.
Oh, sugar.
I think it should matter to the small team, you know?
What are we doing?
Oh yeah, okay. Let's bump United up for a good cup run.
No,
Okay,
but
fine.
I thought we're
They
judging
get
the
a
teams
U.
on what they are.
It's,
Yeah,
it's,
no,
why,
Yeah,
it's,
that's
why,
what they
Very good,
expect.
very good.
it's why I gave United a U, because at least they got to the final.
Get out
Anyway.
of there. You didn't win it.
Anyway, let's go to Bournemouth, 9th in the table. 15 wins, 11 draws, 12 defeats.
B. Great season.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah, I could hear A.
Bournemouth.
I can hear A.
For me, A would have been Europe, personally.
Oh
but-
my God.
Now that would have been an A
It's
star.
the same way you
That would have been an A
ask
star.
It's the same way you ask Oscar, like, what happens if United actually get relegated? I think Adrian's making a good point.
Yeah.
It has
Yeah,
to be-
because if you give them an A now, what are you going to give them for Europe?
Man, then,
A-star.
where did you expect Bournemouth to finish at the start of the season? Real talk.
Between like
Probably like 11th, 12th.
9th and 13th. Between 9th and
Did you actually
13th.
think-
Do you really?
Okay,
Actually
13th.
thought that.
Okay, to answer your question, 13th. I would have probably said
So
13th.
13th would have been
12th last year.
So 13th would have been a C then by your books, right? Because if you expected them to get there, they passed the mark C, right?
Right, okay.
So what are we doing here? Bournemouth are what were they, 9th in the table? They just missed out on Europe.
Mm.
B.
Bournemouth.
They missed out though, didn't they?
Have you seen the
B,
size of
TR,
that
it's
football ground?
B.
I don't want to be that guy. But
That's what they missed
Wow.
out, though, innit?
You are that guy. Okay, fine.
No,
Let's
Europe would have been an A
Okay,
star,
yeah.
maybe.
Let's
But
go. Go on.
Wins at the Emirates, Old Trafford, St James's Park. Solid.
Well,
They
they picked them up though.
They beat Arsenal home and away.
That period of nasty. I think the injuries got to them in the end.
They beat us home and away. Let's vote. Let's vote quickly.
B.
B.
Wow. We've all got B.
I
Guys,
am.
What?
I've got some news, but it comes later.
quickly.
Some news. Inter Milan are open talks with Rasmus Højlund.
I'll piss off.
I'm not joking. I am not joking.
Honestly, I will not watch Serie A next season if he joins Inter Milan.
Oh, that's cap. That's cap. You'll be there. You'll be there. You'll be there. You'll be there. When you're bored of Sesko's 10-game goal drought, you'll be there. You'll be there. Man, try to be emotional because of one Champions League final loss. Let's calm down,
I'll watch Gasparini's Roma. And that's as far as we're going.
Hey, early. There'll be times on a stagnant dead Monday. What's going on? Peter's watching Bari versus flipping Udinese versus Lecce.
I love it, man. I remember that night. It was Sassuolo versus Empoli. I remember that night vividly. It was a
Empoli.
tremendous game.
That's Saturn Italia and all that.
Oh, speaking of Sassuolo, what happened to Berardi, man?
Oh, don't.
He was meant to be. Anyways,
Sassuolo got relegated, mate. Right? Huh? Brighton and Hove Albion finished 8th in the league. What are we giving them? 16 wins, 13 draws, 9 defeats.
only 9 defeats. Okay.
Phenomenal season.
Another B for me.
Not an A?
I don't know how to grade these now, you know. I'm like, bro,
It's the hardest part.
everyone's getting the same rating, bro.
Guys,
Yeah.
when Brighton woke up on the first week of August for a Premier League football match, they were not finishing 8th.
No, bro, they spent money. Yeah.
16. Fabian Hertzler, who's younger than us.
No. Peter, pull up the transfer window. Pull up that transfer window.
He got 16 wins.
Pull it up.
I can't lie. I expected better from Brighton this year.
You expected better. You're a liar. You're a liar.
I can't
Did they
lie.
get Europe?
Yeah, no, I expected, especially with the European spaces this year.
Oh my God, you guys are smoking budgie.
I expected better.
Peter, that team is
Why
stacked.
did they lose out on 8th spot though?
No, Peter, that team is stacked, man.
Oh my God, let me go look at their transfer window.
It's stacked, bro.
Seventh was not out of reach, you know, but they failed.
AD.
Yeah?
AD.
Talk to me.
They spent in euros this season, yeah?
Must be 200. Close
I
to.
can't believe it. 281 million euros.
Yeah, Peter, you're being too nice to them. You're being way too nice to them.
Brother, Jorginho Rota was 46 million euros.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he had a good season.
35 million
He-
euros.
He had a good
Who's
season,
Matt
man.
Weaver? I haven't seen him play.
Matt
30
Weaver
million euros.
He was meant to be that football manager DM that was meant to be sick.
The
And he
technicals
wasn't.
love him.
And
He was
wasn't.
hooping for slot last season.
Who's Brajan Gruda? 31 million. Freddie Kadioglu, 30 million. Matt O'Reilly from Celtic, 30 million.
Kadioglu was the Turkish. Was he the Turkish midfielder? We discussed him on the pod.
Yeah, and now he plays left back. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
quick.
Simas,
I think he got
26 million.
the
Ibrahim
Greek striker.
Osman, 19. No, guys. This is a transfer budget of epic proportions.
Hey, this is how I know Arteta's rattled Peter. You know, because more time he'd be the one that will bring these random facts up.
Guys, do you know how many players they bought in the window?
Like 13? How many?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 players.
Yeah.
Jesus of Nazareth. And the thing is, I haven't seen half of these signings.
No.
That's the thing. That's what I find crazy. So God knows how much they might cook next year if they actually play.
Mm.
Anyway, you lot getting B, yeah?
After what you've read, that might be a C. And I'm just
I'm giving him a C.
Raw. So what changed it for you? Like what's so appalling about that?
Hove Albion.
No, it was always going to be a C. Initially, I even thought D. I actually thought D, but I was like, okay, that's not that bad. But yeah, C. Yeah, so like I said, yeah, C.
Oscar Ernest.
Nothing higher.
I'm giving them a C, man.
They still get a B from me.
Yeah, I gave him a B. So we got 2 Bs and a C. Two Bs, 2 Cs.
I don't know. The money, man. The money. Okay, this will answer my question. Did they get into Europe?
No.
C.
Good.
You can't spend money of that magnitude and not make it into Europe. I'm sorry.
You can't judge other teams for doing it and not judge them.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know everybody loves Brighton and they've got a place in their heart, but yeah, come on, man. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Fabian Herzl is 32 years of age. He's coming after a De Zerbi team and he's got P8. Flipping hell. All right.
Yeah, they're coming after the Derby and they pumped money through his nose.
Yeah, and you never know. Next season it might work. Like sometimes it won't happen in the first year. Let it marinate. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna lie. I've been
I'll let him cook. When he cooks, I give him a B.
Yeah,
Until then,
what's to come next season?
Say again?
Should we grade him now on what is to come next season? Like,
I'm just saying. I think it's absolutely impressive that Brighton finished 8th this season. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
fair enough.
I'm sure they finished 8th before.
Oh, they might have done because obviously they played Europa League football one year or Europa Conference, whatever it was.
Yeah, so for me, I'm not gonna lie. I've been waiting for Brighton to marinate for a while now, man.
I mean, they finished 11th last season and they finished 6th the year before. Do you know what I mean?
So okay, let's just
So this should be flipping a D then.
No.
I did say initially I was thinking D.
This should be a D.
I was like,
No. Don't go anywhere. No.
I'm willing to be convinced. I'm willing to be convinced.
This should be a D.
Why?
No, they've spent money and we've not seen the money go higher than their best season.
Where's that money gone? Where's that money gone?
No, but remember the players they've lost though in that time.
And they spent money.
Yeah, but they lost big players.
Hey, Oscar, what's that tune? Throw some D's on it.
Wait there, guys, wait there. In the last couple of years, right? We've got McAllister, Caicedo, Basuma. Steady, guys.
Cucurella,
Sanchez. Let's slow down.
Nah, I'm not with the sub story for Brighton, man. I'm not with it. I'm not with it.
They took that money in and they spent it back.
Anyway,
tenfold. Bloody hell.
I'm guessing the average
Well,
score here is C.
Is a C now. It definitely is a C.
For me, it's still B. For me, it's still B. But shout
Oh yeah,
out.
for me it's B. Yeah.
I'm jumping down to a C, man. They
Right.
never got into
It's a
Europe.
C.
I feel.
Okay, Nottingham Forest finished 7th, winning 19, drawing 8, losing 11.
I think they've had a fantastic season.
Yeah, I'm so conflicted, you know, here.
No, because
If you ask me in January, that's an A star
because
performance.
I think people judge them for being third for so long. But my point is, Nottingham Forest, like as for according to Peter's logic, shouldn't be here.
B plus.
They shouldn't.
Yeah, that's a B, man.
B
That's a B.
plus.
Shout out to Nottingham Forest, man. Nuno
guys?
Espirito God.
Guys,
I think I even disagree. Yeah, I give him an A.
You know what, Oscar? I'm not mad at an A. I'm not mad at an A.
They were 17th last year.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
The only thing I'll say is this though: they cooked the books and took the L and carried on. Like
Let me have
Sheffield United and men like that should be like saying, "Yo, Wagwan, how can we just let them man cook the books on purpose?" and
Lads,
crack on with it?
I'll be frank with you, yeah.
No Lampard.
I'm okay with the corruption. I'm good with it.
As long as we acknowledge it's corruption, that's all I care
Yeah,
about.
the thing is,
I'm okay with it.
do you know why I'm ignoring it? It's because they went to jail, they didn't pass go, and they started again. So that's why I'm going to ignore that.
Monopoly.
However, looking at
Forest get an A. Let's move to Unai Emery's Aston Villa, 6th.
This is an interesting one, man.
They got 19 wins,
C
9
plus.
draws, and 10 defeats.
C plus.
It's a C. It's a C.
It's a C.
Oh, you guys care about cup runs as well? Champions League quarterfinals.
It's a
FA
B.
Cup semi-finals.
It's a B. They got a B.
Counts for something. Counts for something.
Wait, did they go to the FA Cup semi? Did I make that up?
They did.
They did.
Yeah. B, man. They got a B this year.
Okay, and I can raise up to a B.
But Palace flogged them though.
They performed tremendous all season long. Lost Duran in the window. Yeah. Fair play to them, man.
Do you know what else I think? Do you know what else I think cooked them? In my opinion, anyway. I wasn't a fan of the summer window personally, man.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the summer window.
Yeah. But anyway,
B. The thing is, they took some big beatings. So that's my issue. That's what I'm
they
like.
did take some beatings for sure.
Hey, Robert, that was crazy.
Yes.
Hey,
Oh,
listen, we're at the end of the season. We're at the end of the season.
We are. Okay, Newcastle United, 5th, Champions League, 20 wins, 6 draws, 12 defeats.
A.
That is an A.
And the League Cup winner.
And
It's
a
an A.
That's an A.
That's a
It's the most annoying A that I have to give because I don't like them, but it's an A.
strong A. That's a strong A. Let's move on. Chelsea. P4, top 4, 20 wins, 9 draws, 9 defeats.
It's a B.
Okay.
Strong B.
And Europa Conference winners. I think it's a B.
Strong B.
Yeah, it's a B.
I think it's a B. Yeah.
I'll give them a B this year.
In totality,
I think it's a C plus.
C plus.
Chelsea will spend too much money to be not challenging for the league in the 3rd season.
oh, Ernie, that's a good point. Let's not run away from that one.
That's a C.
That's a lot of money they've spent. A lot.
Chelsea in year 3 don't have a striker.
Though.
Neither do they have a goalkeeper. Plus is a C.
Yeah, after all that, yeah, and it's a bad organization. That's the thing. It's a bad organization.
I can make an argument. That they should be lower than the C.
I think you can make the argument that the club should be lower than the C.
Yeah, we could do that.
No, but
can do all right.
We can do that.
If we're talking going into the season, I don't think anything warrants it being less than a C.
I didn't expect them to
Chelsea Football Club.
They met the expectations.
Guys, I'm always for the Arsenal flogging.
You're the first one.
For it.
You're the first one, though.
Always for it. We gotta be equal opportunity haters.
They went above my expectation. I didn't expect them to get in the top 4. They
Chelsea
did, and
Football
with their
Club have
trophy.
spent more money than Mikel Arteta, who's been here in 5-6 years.
Yeah,
Them man have been here in 3 seasons. Chelsea Football Club, let's not run out. Don't go anywhere.
Ernest, you make a great point. I think we got them. You know when they say keep your tabs on that, keep your dabs on that, or keep the powder dry. There is chalk.
Yeah. No, but like, I don't think anyone can disagree with what Ernest is saying. It's just that this is for the season, so it's not for the 3 years of Clear Lake.
Yeah, but we've added context of other seasons for other clubs,
and I've cut it down.
But it's their first. Is this their first Champions League run, Bowley?
This is the first time they've qualified for the Champions League under Bowley
on their own. Yeah, because they were in the Champions League from before, from
when they took over. Yeah.
But this is the first time we've actually qualified.
It's horrendous. I'm giving them. I'm gonna get. With that being said, I'm gonna go C.
Yeah,
I think it's a B, man. I think what we all would have expected from this team, they've delivered this season.
Yeah, because to off this point, like in the cold light of day. Top 4 finish, they've won a European Cup. Yeah, go on, Robert.
Oh, you're making me go back.
No. I agree that with Oscar, I think it's a B. This
is crazy.
They excelled our expectation this season.
They finished a lot higher than I expected. I didn't think they'll beat the top 4.
Yeah, I didn't think they'll
I can't get over the money though.
Ernest's money conversation, by the way, that's what I'm saying. That's the lawyer briefcase conversation. When it's time to really cook, or if you want to make a case, Ernest has got this wrapped. But I'm talking about this season when the first ball was kicked. What were we expecting from Chelsea? Where did they finish? What did they win?
So then we have to scrap the Brighton conversation.
Yes.
Ernie's
right.
I didn't agree with the Brighton conversation.
What about Brighton needs to be scrapped? I give them a B.
The point I made, you gave Brighton a B?
No, they got given a C in the end because
I
gave them a B.
You know what, lads? I'm. You know what? We'll discuss it after. But I'm confused now. I'm confused. The grading is confusing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Because your point about the money over the last 3 years is a much wider topic and issue and separate, in my opinion. With this specific season, the context is there.
Yeah, if we're judging Chelsea on 3 years, it's a U.
For sure.
We're judging it just this year.
No, but I think the money still bears relevance to this season's assessment of them because. Yes. Of the money you spent, you should be challenging this whole top 40. Like we've set you a low bar and you've hit the low bar, but this is foundation paper. You should put a higher paper, bro.
And that's why the previous years, and maybe Chelsea's an anomaly. Maybe Chelsea's an anomaly, but this is why the context can't just be on the money you spent last year, because you've had money. Chelsea's sitting on a gold mine of money they spent. And we're giving them a B for making the top 4 guys. This is crazy.
I'm down to a C.
You convinced me again.
It's crazy.
But the reason I've given them a B is I didn't expect them to get in the top 4. Ernest, where did you expect Chelsea to finish the season? Just out of curiosity.
No, guys. I've been on this Chelsea train since Bankroll Bowley bought the club. Chelsea have spent money, and Chelsea's midfield is 200 million.
It is.
I'm so sorry. What are we doing here? I should expect a title rate every year.
It's about 215. It's about 215 still.
You know what? I'll give it a C.
It's a C. You convinced me. It's gone down. The grade has gone down.
To you.
No, guys. I'm
sorry.
Huh?
What's your rating for them?
Me.
Yeah, Ernest. What are you rating? I want to hear this.
Chelsea Football Club?
Yeah.
Yeah, this season, what is the grade you're giving them?
A B.
B?
No.
That's a D.
No, No, Endo. Like I'm not trying to look at it too broadly for the sake of getting onto Chelsea. I'm trying to keep the same energy for all the other teams that we say have spent a lot. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're a team that spent 400 million in 1 year, you spent 300 million the next year, you spent 200 million in the third season, I can't talk about UEFA Conference League.
Yeah.
I can't talk about that. So it might sound broad, but you're sitting on a bed of riches already.
Come on.
Lads, they have more wingers than I have strikers. What's going on here?
Yeah.
More than I've had.
What
Top
does
dinners.
that statement mean, Ernest? Every team has more wingers than strikers.
No. Oscar,
But let him cook. Let him cook. Let him cook. Let him cook.
You have Esteval, you have Paez, you
Yeah,
have
Esteban is coming.
No. The point I'm making is that this is not money these weren't free transfers. You spent money.
Okay.
No,
Right.
SW6. SW6. This is the excuse we keep making for Chelsea. Look at the level of player. If Manchester United has spent the money Chelsea has spent, we'd be talking about this for time.
That's very true.
Let's keep it a buck. If other teams had spent the money that Chelsea has spent, we'd be talking about the title race. And we spent a lot more time on this podcast. The one crime I've participated in is talking more about Arsenal than talking about Chelsea. That's the one crime I can say I've committed.
Yeah.
Because we spent a lot of time getting onto Arteta. Chelsea Football Club have been abysmal. Abysmal.
You know my take on Chelsea Football Club.
No, guys. I say this every year in the group chat. Chelsea fans are not angry enough for me. They're not angry enough. No, guys, they spend money. And we just accept the conference league. What's going on here?
No. I won't accept it. Yeah, no, that's not in my. That's not the conference league even coming to my rating.
The thing is, no one should ever accept the conference league. But it was the reality of the situation.
It was the reality of the situation.
It's a good debate.
In which, if Manchester United had won the FA Cup like we did, and Chelsea finished fourth where they should have finished, we wouldn't be talking about the Conference League.
Oh,
we wouldn't. Chelsea should have been in the Champions League spot. Period. Point blank.
But that's 365 days ago. And that's
no. The point is, Chelsea is in conversations they shouldn't be because of how they've let themselves slide. That's the problem.
Agreed.
That's the problem.
And they've got away with that.
They've got away with
it.
Agreed. But the way I'm looking at it is like, let's say you're Enzo Maresca. You've walked into this situation. What are you gonna do?
No, this ain't about Enzo to me.
It's about the club.
It's from that time period, though.
No, I understand that. It's about the time period that he's in. I'm not looking at Enzo as much as I'm looking at Chelsea, the entity.
Yes.
I'm looking at Chelsea, the entity. And the thing is, we can make jokes on the side about Chelsea this, Chelsea that. I'm talking about the reality of the situation. 4 years ago, they beat Man City in the Champions League final. They spent money year in, year out, and we are talking about them finally qualifying for the Champions League.
Wow.
Ernest,
what are we doing here?
You swayed me.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Hey,
Chelsea.
Peter, Steven feels too generous after that. Bloody hell.
Yeah, C feels generous after that.
No, guys, I told you I can make a genuine argument.
But what I'm saying is, simply saying is this: Chelsea are a joke. They're a laughing stock. They're a disgraceful organization.
Nobody's laughing enough.
No, but
nobody's laughing enough.
Fair enough. But at the start of the season, when it was a case of like, boom, where Chelsea expected to finish this year, I did not expect them to finish fourth, and they did. So that's where my B originally came from. It's gone down to a C. They've passed the test this year, but the money and everything else cannot be exempt. Because
if City spends in 2012, in 2015, I'm not saying City should be sixth.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
They should be progressive because the money
they get Chelsea gets C.
Let's move on. Manchester City, third, 21 wins.
They get a D.
9 defeats.
D.
It's a
D. They get a D this year.
Terrible season.
Poor.
Can you even argue E?
No, I won't go
that very honest.
Too far. They finished third.
No, because
outside of the top four could have been
a bad year is third. That's not bad. And
then an FA Cup final first.
FA Cup final. I mean,
I'm saying C personally.
You can't lose to. First of all, you can't lose to Palace in a cup final. That's not on.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
We can wax lyrical about how great Palace were and how great this is for Palace in South London and all that nonsense. Losing to Palace in a cup final is shambolic. Who did they go out to in the Champions League? What round?
Was it?
They got knocked out to Madrid.
PSG.
Real Madrid. No, they lost to PSG. Madrid that was in the league game.
Madrid 5-1.
So Madrid, you say 5-1?
Madrid beat them in the playoffs.
Playoff, yeah.
In the playoffs. What was the score? Does anyone remember?
Five something like 5-1.
Yeah, that's a shambolic season, guys.
That's what I'm saying. D.
I give City a C.
Pepper scratching himself as well. Yeah, it's mad.
Now to go from no, they went from 4 in a row.
That was in comps, by the way. That wasn't in the league.
Nah, man. Listen, to not make the last 16, so they went out of the round of 32 in the Champions League.
Yeah.
They didn't fight they were not in the title race, is already a bad thing. But not only that, they were scrapping for the top 4.
Yeah, they were flirting with Europa.
They then lost the final. So what was
flirting with Europa and actually making Europa is two different things.
Agreed.
True.
For me, I'm like, listen, guys, City, like what we are allowing Chelsea should be allowed to see.
D's fair.
I
think C personally, but I'm not mad at either.
Only because they didn't meet any requirement of their season.
Yeah,
they failed all of their tasks.
No, they didn't.
Yeah. So,
but what's the requirement based on?
Of what they
were champions.
So we're looking at the year before.
Correct.
Does anyone get what I'm going here?
We know exactly
what happened.
We know exactly again.
No, because we are judging by what we expect from them. We are judging by what we expect from them. That's how I'm judging it. D.
Anyone got any other argument besides C?
C, get a C with Chelsea.
No, I'm a Robin. I'll give them a D.
It's a D, and I'm even thinking borderline E. I'm like, yeah, but I'll give
it a D, man. It's a D.
He's strict.
D though, for sure. All right, Arsenal. God grief. Second place, 20 wins, 14 draws.
I want to hear this one.
4 defeats.
I know what grade I'm going to give them. I want to hear what else.
I give them, in all honesty, I give them a B. Because
guys, you see where the grading is getting a bit fuzzy now.
He's getting higgy hagger.
This is exactly the point I made about Chelsea. It's exactly the point I made.
So
what are we judging Arsenal on?
Arsenal, because of the fact that
here's how I'm doing it. Yeah, when you look at the team 365 days ago, or maybe like when the transfers had come in, yeah,
when they finished 2 points behind City.
I'm not even looking at the City. What was Arsenal's goals and like what were their main accomplishments this season? They wanted to win the league. They wanted to win the Champions League. They failed at both. Now we get into judging how bad did they fail. Now they finished second, but the points gap was a bit too high for it to be a B, in my opinion. So I'm giving them a C.
But Oscar, but we got to the semi-final of the League Cup and we got to the semi-final of the Champions League. That counts for a B for me.
Final of the League Cup. This is Arsenal's football club.
You should be winning the League Cup.
The League Cup is a major trophy. That first of all, I listen.
But Newcastle bounced you out, though, man, in a disgraceful manner. Home and away.
I can't lie, and this is me. And if you ask me to grade them on expectation and what we expect them, you've gone back to back second. This is your third time. You didn't win the League Cup, Champions League. Fair enough. You actually went pretty far, further than what I expected. I thought it would be quarters.
We played in every home game we could.
Yeah. 13 points after going closer and even closer, and then transfer window. I can't lie.
10 points.
A 10 point. I'm at a D.
Oh, that's hard.
I'm at a D.
C. It's a C. They passed.
It's a C.
They passed.
There's key failures, but
there's key failures. I don't know.
But the thing is, put into context. If you look what context, right? And listen, I know I'm going to get abused for this, and so be it. Is what it is. But you look at and I don't blame this on our season. By the way, you already know where my stance was this season. You already heard my venom in January. You heard it in May. But our injuries and the red cards that we went through the season, on top of all of this, right? I'm sorry, it's a C comfortably. We passed. We just passed.
Yeah, stop talking about red cards. I agree with the injuries though.
I don't agree with the injuries.
I kid you not, Ernest. No other team in the Premier League would have as many injuries as we did in our first team and finish second. They wouldn't.
I don't agree with the injuries because I think that
Long period, bro.
Liverpool last season, 81 points.
He said it on 2 different occasions. He said, "Why do Arsenal keep picking up hamstring injuries?" He said on the overlap. He said it on CBS months ago, and then he said it on the overlap, and he elaborated. He said, "You know how we played. If you train yourself into a position that keeps you consistently overworking the body, you will strain your muscles."
Naturally.
What Arteta is doing, especially to Kai Havertz, has been nothing short of a war crime. Because I'm so sorry, why do you keep picking up hamstrings?
Hey, Ernie, did why that's so dark? I kid you not, there was one, I think it might have been Wolves. Havertz literally collapsed he couldn't take it anymore.
Do you know how many games he was playing Havertz to the 90th minute?
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm with you on that point.
No.
Yeah, I'm with you on the management weren't great, man.
You like I remember when Madrid were getting those ACL injuries, they had like 3 or 4 ACLs.
Alaba,
Courtois. That's random. That's random. Arsenal have given me the injury excuse for 5 years. Arsenal fans have given me the injury excuse for 5 years. What's going on there?
Do you know what, man? It's such a shame that Havertz did go down because he was on course, right, for having a 20+ goal season.
Guess who cooked him?
Mikel.
Guess who cooked him?
I can't lie.
Like, course is crazy.
Sorry?
If you on course is crazy. First of all, good.
What crazy?
On course.
Why is that crazy?
Hey, Oscar, I'm going Manchester, but we're still in Luton. You know, one course. If we get there, we get there, innit? If we get there, we get there.
Okay. If I said to you guys, Kai Havertz played overall, how many games do you think Arsenal played this season overall in your estimation? Bearing in mind we've got in competitions. We played about 60 games.
60
50 to 60,
We played about 60 games. Havertz played 36 of those.
And did he get 20 goals?
He got 15 goals. He's got 15 goals in 36, and he missed.
How many in the league, my bro?
Yeah, how many league goals?
It doesn't matter.
No.
It does, man.
Okay.
We're not doing that today, man.
I think
Your league goals matter.
In the league, I think he got about 9 goals, but he played like 25 games.
That's poor. That's poor.
If he had 15 more games to his season in the league, he finishes near 15 goals.
Nah, Pete, this is
Serge
Armstrong.
He played 20. I'm guessing. I think he played about 23 games.
We're saying is all right. It's fair. I get what you're saying.
He played 23 games. You can't add 15.
No, but I didn't add 15.
No, he's saying if.
I'm saying I'm not. First of all, 23. He got 9 goals in 23. I'm estimating, right?
Yeah.
Say he plays 38.
I 1 in 3 rate. I 1 in 3 rate will give him about.
He'll give you about 15. So if you said he got 15 Premier League goals, that's a good tally for him up front.
I don't believe you.
Okay. He played like 30 games.
I'm gonna give my final thing. I'm judging of what I expect. I'm judging what I expected, and this is what we're supposed to be graded on. I expected at least Arsenal to win at least 1 trophy this season. I put them as a favourite to win the Premier League.
You did.
The gap is too high for me for the double points to go from 5 to 2 to 10.
Look, the league form.
I'm sorry, it's a D. It's a D for me.
If you based it on the league alone, I'm with you. But the fact that we went to the semi of the Champions League and the Carabao Cup, I'm giving it a C. They've gone deep.
The thing is, I'll give you a C for the semi-final of the Champions League. I'm not giving you progressing to the semi-final of any other cup you should be winning.
Yeah, League Cup is disgusting.
That's not happening. I'm giving you a C.
The League Cup is a major trophy. I don't know why we're doing this. It's a major trophy.
Because
win it, man.
Because Arsenal should have won a trophy by now.
Yeah, agreed.
Arsenal should have won a trophy by now. Agreed. And if it's not the Champions League, nobody can fault you for it because it's his heritage, his pedigrees, all that stuff. But you got beat up by Newcastle, and then they won the trophy as well.
Yeah.
The 2 teams that won domestic trophies this year, you're better than both of them. So I don't want to hear we got to the semis.
The Champions League is the only semi that matters.
It's a trophy, and we got to the semi of it. It counts. Like it
Nah.
Count for your C.
Nah.
Count for your
whether you
C.
think we should have won it. I mean, we got to a major semi-finals in 2 trophies this year.
No,
And
but
lost to an
Peter, I'm gonna be real. The
inferior
man are right. I've never heard this before. I've never heard anyone use the Carabao
team.
Cup for me as a club. I've never
You
heard
know
that
me,
before. I'm gonna be real.
I'm about that cup life. I love trophies. They're all major. If they're major trophies, I love it. The only one I wouldn't care so much about is the Community Shield. That's a minor trophy.
Pete, you're sat here bigging up the fact that you got to the semis and lost to an inferior
It's
team
not
over
big
2
in the-
legs.
I wasn't big in it. I'm saying they got a C. They got a pass. They
I
got
think
a
they got
pass.
I don't think they did. I don't think. For me,
Fair enough.
no objectives will hit for Arsenal, in my
Oh,
opinion.
sugar.
Cool. So what's the overall grading? What we voting
So
on?
yeah, I'm
Yeah, saying
Arsenal
these
got to the semi-final of the Champions League, beating Real Madrid and losing to the eventual winners. I give them a C for that. If it goes to a C minus, it's because of the fact that they didn't win a trophy this year. That's why.
Cool.
I'm giving Arsenal a C minus.
Cool.
C.
Oscar? C.
C.
So hang on. So I got 2 C's here.
Yeah.
Because you started at B, Pete. You started at
Yeah,
B.
you did. We had to pull you down.
I went to C very quickly.
I said we had to cool you down, you know.
I went to C very
I
quickly.
said we had to thaw, man, you know.
Right. Finally,
Four man out.
finally, Liverpool.
That's a bit of a why.
I like
A though.
It's an A. Liverpool get an A. No one. I don't think anyone except Adrian expected Liverpool to win the league.
I didn't even expect it, bro. Yeah, man. Pleasant surprise.
They just started talking like winter time. That's where the chat started. It wasn't in
Yeah,
August
yeah.
or September.
Well, when my slot showed me a little something, and I'm like, all right, say that one. Yeah, but because my thing was just I wanted to come in, implement a style of play. If we could get 3rd, great. But yeah, well done, big him up, man. Big him up.
Yeah, man. A plus, man. A plus. I didn't believe it until after Christmas either.
You know what? You know why it's not an A plus for me, Oscar? Yeah, because I think Liverpool should have also done better in the other cups.
Yeah.
And I think Slot. Some one of my Liverpool clients said today he's the first, like, he's not anti-Slot, but he's the first one to be like critical of him. He said the way he treated Trent he didn't like, but the main thing for him was that the tactics in the fixtures in and around the PSG game. Apparently, he played his first 11 against Southampton, sandwiched in between the 2 PSG games. I didn't think about the fixtures.
And also, I kid you not, Núñez was sick against Southampton. He drops him for the PSG game. Jota looks like he was playing with one leg. So that again, that's another thing that you look back and you think to yourself, maybe if he'd done it another way, we might have been better for it. So
I think Liverpool would have had something for Inter Milan. What's it called? Endo's a clown. I think Liverpool would have had something for Inter. Liverpool would have had something for Barca. I think they would have had something for Arsenal and Madrid.
You know what, Eddie? You know what? Yeah, boy to boy. Yeah, I'm looking at Arsenal over 2 years.
You thought that was better than man to man. That's the funny thing.
Oh, crazy.
Hey, that was crazy, bro.
I know. No, but on the real, yeah, I didn't fancy Arsenal over 2 legs. Personally, like, my honest opinion, I didn't fancy it.
You shouldn't.
Even with the injuries, I didn't fancy it, man.
Declan Rice got into UEFA team of the season.
How? I don't know.
The free kicks, isn't it?
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that Declan Rice was not good in the Champions League this year. Yeah, I rank Declan Rice somewhere between the top 10 and top 12 best CMs in the world.
What's our 11?
I don't know. I don't know where he sits. I have to think about it. But I think people are doing he got in there because of the 2 free kicks, and I'm like, I think Declan Rice has been like 2025. I think Declan Rice has been good.
The Real Madrid game itself, it was great.
It was good.
Yeah, in the game itself, outside of the goal, it was actually good. Yeah.
You know, like people need to bring names instead of have agendas. If you think somebody else was better than Declan Rice in midfield in the UEFA Champions League, bring his name.
Put your hat in the room.
Declan Rice has been getting better and better at Arsenal, and he's only been here 2 years. He's getting better and better. Watching this guy play, because when we signed him, I was like, "Raw, good signing," but then I did not know how good this guy was. I did not know, and honestly, when I went to St. James's last season, and he won me over like crazy. Not that I was even needed to be won, but like he does a performance, and you just think, "Nah, do you know?" And we lost that game, by the way. It's the way he performed, the way he played. I was
put in the group chat that day that this guy glides.
I said he's our captain. He's a horse. He's a horse.
Yeah,
that is our captain. That is I mean by the way the way he commands of his own. I need to know what his regimen is, because what he does to his body is well oiled. He's a Bayern Munich midfielder.
Hey, Pete.
Listen. The joints need to be.
What he does to his body, he's well oiled,
bro. He's like a German. He's like a Bayern Munich midfielder. That's the best way to describe him. Anyway, we've done the grading of the Premier League teams. Before we wrap things up, Oscar, are you ready?
I'm
gonna go with no.
I think it's about the predictions. It's about the predictions, I reckon.
Guys.
Yes.
We go my responsibility.
Sorry?
I didn't know that was my responsibility.
He didn't bring them.
We need to lock this rave off. We literally postponed this to next week. The thing that Oscar carried last season.
No, but
and the season before.
I thought you were gonna do it.
That's why I asked in the group chat, what are we supposed to bring?
I mean, if it helps, I know mine.
This is such a stink.
This is a stinker.
On our final episode of the 10th year of the podcast.
Unless it's something that we do next week and actually properly do it next week and just do a reaction podcast next week. What are your thoughts?
I'm not available next week.
Of course he's not.
Of course you're not. Of course you're not. Of course you're not.
Where are you this time? San Tropez. Where the hell are you next?
Listen, 10, I'm already black. Rich, I'm already there. Gangster, get the heck.
Peter, but he's done that, by the way.
Yeah, he has done it.
I'll be in Liverpool.
In where?
In Liverpool.
From San Tropez to Liverpool. I'm a massive Reds, but you know what I mean.
I've got a work trip. I'm going to be in Liverpool this time next week.
Oh, what a stink, man.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
10 years, people. 10 years on this podcast. We've done
it. It's been nothing but super duper. Unless we do it on another day.
It's a howler.
Listen, do you know what we could do?
On Tuesday. Are you back on Tuesday?
I am, but I'm not free.
Okay.
Peter, do you know what? I want to do?
What do you want to do?
I want to have a well-earned break from this podcast.
I
want to have a well-earned break.
All right.
Does anyone just remember their predictions?
Yeah, I do.
I can't remember the categories. Never mind the predictions.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't even remember I think like Ernest sent me, if I remember correctly, what some of you man done for your top four, but there was relegated. There was also, I think, first manager to get sacked, top goal scorer. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I've got the top four thingy. We could do the top four in champions. Basically, we can do that if you want.
If you got it, let's run it. But before you get to that, Mirad's got a quick comment. He says, "Good evening."
We don't have your predictions though, because you weren't even on the pod. You did it the next week though.
I was in San Tropez. Mirad says, "Good evening to the greatest footballing podcast there on a Monday night when I need a rain check with Peter. Emirates 2025, Emirates Cup, 2025. Is it happening? Is it happening on the wedding day?
What day is the wedding day? Because it is. Yeah, Emirates Cup is back. We're gonna have a friendly and an Emirates Cup match as well. So
he's asking if him and the missus can pull up on the carpet.
Yeah, I'll give you a shout. Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Big speakers, rousing reception at halftime, fans shouting, "She said yes, my lord. She said yes."
Oh God, yeah. That chant doesn't sit well with me because of the
Yeah,
bad
the
one.
context. Yeah.
It's just yeah.
What?
Anyway,
Oh,
yeah. Okay, cool.
Second and 3rd of August, he says.
2nd and 3rd. Oh, it might be on the 2nd. I'm not sure. We'll have a look. Right. Let me react to. Let's do the top 4, courtesy of Ernest for doing the due diligence on this one last week. We're gonna kick things off with the top 4 and what champions he predicted. We'll start things off with David, who predicted Aston Villa to be 4th, Liverpool to be 3rd, City to be 2nd, and Arsenal to be champions. Thoughts? Villa top 4.
I remember we said what when we said that. I do remember us saying like,
Yeah,
what are
because-
we doing
Because
here?
David had no optimism in his veins, yet somehow had an optimistic shout for Arsenal to win the league.
because we also cussed them because they said the year prior Newcastle, and we said, huh?
Yeah. Crazy thing. No. Newcastle was one thing, and they didn't even have Arsenal in his top 4.
You're a disgrace. Guess who else copied David in the exact order? Was myself. Villa 4th, Liverpool 3rd, City 2nd, Arsenal top. Damn.
You not one position, right?
Guess who else predicted Aston Villa 4th? That would be Ernest. Villa 4th, Liverpool 3rd, Arsenal 2nd, City 1st. We were on that Emery juice, man. On that Emery juice. Adrian predicted Newcastle 4th, Liverpool 3rd, City 2nd, Arsenal 1st. But here's who takes the biscuit.
I know it's me.
Look,
I know what I said. Mine was terrible. When I
Number 4.
I know number 4 was.
Robin went for 4th place, guys. Manchester United. Liverpool 3rd, City 2nd, Arsenal 1st. That
Can I just have a little laugh here? Because not one of you predicted Chelsea in the top 4, but we did.
Did you predict Chelsea in the top 4?
Yeah.
He did actually. I do remember that. He said Chelsea went top 4.
Champion.
Huh? I don't remember the top 3, but I remember I had Chelsea in 4th because we spoke about it on that first day.
Well, I guess
we got slapped by City and you were cooking Chelsea, and I was like, we'll get in the top 4.
Well, ladies and gents,
I think it'll be pointless because I actually sent you mine in August. Yeah. But I remember it was that fat paragraph.
Did you
it was a text? Yeah, because me and you were in France at the time. So that's why I didn't do mine.
It took me like an hour to send it to you, man. Bloody hell.
I don't think you did, bro. Shall I tell you why? Because
he did.
No, because you read it out on the pod.
You wouldn't have his top 4 if he didn't send that. He sent
this is gorgeous. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so what did you put for? Let me see. So your top goal scorer was Haaland, and you just put next. Your bottom 3, I love it. Ooh,
bang on.
This is
bottom 3 was bang on.
Your bottom 3, you went with Ipswich, back-to-back promotions from League One. Always going to be tough. Ask Sheffield United. Managed to do it similar, but stay up. So we will see. McKenna is a good young coach. Keeping Hutchinson, who was central to their season last year, is key. And then you made a side note. Burnley struggled last season because half the players that cooked in the championship, e.g. Maatson and Teller, all left. Your next team that went down was Southampton. Squad simply isn't equipped for the Prem. I thought they were assembling a core of young players who would grow, e.g. Livramento, Lavia, Bella Kotchap, Sulemena. And then you said in the championship, but it disappeared. Lallana alone is kind of an understand as a player coach, but then these players like Charlie Taylor, very underwhelming. Nowhere near good enough. Goals in the front line either. Also, their style is very expansive. Struggled at the start of last season and may hold a few beatings in the Prem. Bang on there, mate. Leicester City you put as the final one, where you said underwhelming squad that lost their manager and their best player in Dewsbury Hall. Vardy has aged out, so where the goal's going to come from. They also have a pending points deduction. Last but not least, Wesley Farce at the centre-back. Awful defender.
Awful.
Pony and Trap, piece of garbage. Honorable mention, Fulham need to get their act together. Oh, this is a stinker. Paulinho, most tackles in the last 2 seasons, massive blow. That's fair. And they lost Paulinho, guys, Fulham. Anyway,
and Tosin.
Not to mention Tosin at centre half. I don't think they missed him at all. Still worried about Mitrovic's lack of goals. Munoz was hot last year, but still unknown entity. If they do stay up, they will need a fit Emil Smith-Rowe. Wow. First manager sacked. Tough one this year. No outstanding candidate. I think promoted clubs, especially Ipswich, will back their guys. Although if Southampton get a string of heavy defeats, Russell Martin will be sacked. Fantastic. But I'm going for Eric Ten Hag, who I think was sacked before him. I'm not sure. Not convinced Not convinced he's Ineos' guy. And again, he has tons of injuries, made some good signings, but are neglecting the elephant in the room once again, central midfield. Similar to Brendan under FSG, I think they will give Ten Hag until October and then lower the boom and get their guy. Wow. One to watch, Yakuba Minta. Started keeping tabs whilst he was linked with Liverpool. Had a He started hot, to be fair.
Oh, I didn't fizzle out.
Under slot, 10 goals, 6 assists. The kid is direct as hell and reminds me of a young Sadio Mane. I think he'll cook on the right wing. Who needs to rise? Szoboszlai. I'll tell you what, he's just lost his place in the Liverpool side with that Florian Wirtz signing.
Unfortunately,
started like a house on fire compared to Stevie G. Compared him to Stevie G. Wow. And he completely went off the boil post injury. Playing in a more advanced position, so I'm expecting more output consistently from him. Game-changing ability. Busted flush, full Krug. Bang on. Very capable of proving me wrong, but mainly for the age and lack of mobility, I think it will be a bad signing. A 30-year-old on a 4-year deal is never a good idea, just like in the case of big strikers like Scamacca, and Sebastian Haller. I could see them changing tactics for Antonio or Bowen's ability in behind stretching defenses. Fulgrim is a battering ram, great finisher. So if he can get the chances, I expect him to bury. But the lack of athleticism concerns me. I get the same vibes I got when Timu Pukki was in the league. Had a great season. Wow. That was superb.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
On that note, people, we're going to end the top 4 for another season. It's been tremendous. It's been great.
We're done.
And just like that, mate,
we are done. We are finished. We're covering the Club World Cup.
I ain't covering no Club World Cup.
Oh, we're not back next week.
Well, we gonna be back.
That's it. Yeah, we're gonna be back.
Well, there's a lot to discuss, guys.
When will we be back? That's the question.
I don't know, but Theo Hernandez, or is it Lucas? Whoever one's at AC Milan.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's going to Saudi. Joe Bellingham is going to Borussia Dortmund. There's some funky signings happening between now and the first half of the transfer window. And yeah.
The transfer window has a pause next week.
Yeah.
Joke.
Well, what does that mean?
I think they want the competition to actually just
they want the people to register for the Club World Cup.
Yeah. So teams can buy players now to register in the tournament, but then once the tournament starts, it's like a pause so that they can't buy anymore. It's a bit mad.
Do you know what? Shout out to Marco van Basten, because football's finished, and he came out and said literally Lincoln Park being the host of the Champions League final was a load of BS. And I'm so with people like Marco, we need to protect at all costs.
All costs, man.
Football, man.
Oh, he was cold, you know. It was about injuries. Look, bro, I think he retired at like 28.
Mate, different level player.
Yeah, but like when people talk about him, they're like Van Basten's like one of the best I've ever seen. Like,
elite.
Anywho, it's been a funky season, but it's over.
Funky. It's been the funky bumpy, and we'll be back, I guess, in August, unless we need to do a podcast somewhere during the summer in terms of transfer.
Anything emergency we will cover, but
yeah, when Chelsea win the Club World Cup, we'll all gather together and get on there.
I'm there, man.
Yeah, man. It's been a fantastic season once again.
100 mil
out every single ounce of it. We will be on the Twitter, on YouTube. We'll be everywhere as well. So yeah, it has been an emotional one for sure. But thank you very much for joining us for yet another season. You guys have been tremendous. Big up to all the people that we've had as well, guests, Lola, people like that as well. Shout out to Mirad as well, everyone that we've had on. Big up the commenting crew, Nat. Love you all. Thank you very much for joining us every single year.
Big up to you lot for being consistent with us, man.
Shout out to you lot, man. Shout out to David NL, of course. Baraka, as I said, SW6 to G. We've got some stuff to do. Nat, big up yourself. Footy agendas, people like that. Mario Balotelli's only assist. You know what I'm saying? Like people, like, you guys have been sensational.
Nat, so, yeah, you never know. You never know, Nat.
For me, thank you for 10 years of doing this.
It's been 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years.
Honestly.
Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop.
That's the wrong guy.
Next season, Mirad will be married.
Yes. Indeed.
You will big up Mirad. Shout out to you for getting married, man. Big
man. Big up using yours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but no more campaigns for you. No more campaigns. We're not having that anymore.
No, you guys, this might be what gets it over the line for Arsenal. I think Mirad just needed that ring. Yeah, not here. I'm worried. I'm concerned.
That's twice now. That's twice in this shot. But anyway, there will be some extra time, definitely over the summer. We will schedule that in. Until next season, we are out, people. Peace.
Bye.